10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Look at what in my opinion, one of the best goalkeepers right now.
We need you to think that you're going to be playing for games. So they want
I'm a little bit worried for tomorrow's game. I saw a stat on
Sergio
He's gonna play at the 9. That is the second. We only have two men 9 to
I know people have gone on about if we lose the cup, it could be a bit of a situation. I hope to God it
Sergio
doesn't.
Productions.
Sorry guys, I'll do the next one.
Welcome to the Blue Lounge. Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are all having a nice, relaxed Saturday night, evening. Unless you're in Australia, and then I guess it's morning. So big up to everyone and welcome all to the stream. On my panel today, I have a curtain called MDT. I don't know where he is. He'll probably come back. He'll probably come back in a second. We have it's just a curtain. I don't know. Anyway, big up to everyone.
Curtains on
Big
the
up to
season,
everyone.
right?
And, yeah, man. Yeah. It's curtains for Leeds. Mm-hmm. So I
That
did there.
too.
It's curtains for Leeds. Yeah.
Maybe the comeback
That
zone, they got a
too.
penalty.
Oh, really? Oh, sweet. Balassi is not all he's cracked up to be. Anyway, big up to everyone in the chat. Big up to my panelists. Let's start with the usual shout outs. Jake Waters, you were here at 5 p.m. Like, you were early, mate. You're early. I don't know if you're still in the chat, but if you are, big up to you. MCIG, like the video and the new emblem. Cheers, mate. It's a work in progress still, to be fair. I'm still trying out new things. I want to get it just right. To be fair, I actually lost the old one. I lost the file. I deleted it by accident, so I had to make a new one, and it's work in progress. Emir K, big up to you. Bobby Fairview. It's Aisha, mate. The song Aisha from Shab Khalid. It's a tune and a half. Old school, but it's a tune and a half. Eric Dugan, big up to you. Abdul B, always a pleasure. Who else do we have in here? We have Elijah Hussein. We're going to be playing Kepa up front at this rate. You know what? I think Kepa would be a better striker than he's a goalkeeper. Just saying. I'm kidding. Big up to you, Elijah, and welcome to the stream. Big up to everyone. Listen, guys, before we start, let's have a quick look. We got 10 likes, 12 of you in here. Smash that like button. If you're new, subscribe, because I have a feeling we're gonna get more what's the word here, more streams than actual live football in the future, the near future.
Yep.
We're gonna have to wait and see. Let me introduce my panelist. Big up to the couch critic. How are you, man? How you doing?
Wagwan, everything's good, man. You know, just enjoying the snowstorm here in Toronto, but yeah, we're close to lockdown too, man. It seems like I was supposed to go on tour in February, and now that's in jeopardy. So almost there. Let's hope that it doesn't go too much longer, though.
Let's see how it pans out, and hopefully everyone is able to stay safe and protected during this this period. From Canada, we'll go all the way across the planet to Australia and say big up to Declared. Declared, how are you?
Good morning. That's the saying here. Every time I'm here, it's the morning.
Good
For
eye.
lack of sleep. Hey.
Declared is the man that never sleeps. His superpower is he doesn't sleep. So big up to you, Declared, and thank you for coming on the stream. From Australia, we got all the way back to England, to the mid of England. Well, north of England, mid of the UK. And we say big up to MDT, who's currently in Manchester. Big up to Mo. How are you?
Big up, Mo. Thanks for having us. Big up, Dennis, and big up, Declare. Declare. You know what? I think Declare, sleep. For Declare, sleep is the cousin of death. That's why he doesn't sleep.
Declared is our what's the word? He's our night stalker, our
Night
underworld master, our night watch, our vampire, you know, our dark destroyer. Declared, man, the man that never sleeps. Big up to Declared, big up to Mo, and going to the south of England, back to London, back to the home of Chelsea, the pride of London. Let's say big up to Max Burton. Max Burton, big up to you.
You're talking about me, the pride of London, or South London? Me,
No,
London?
you're in the pride of London. You're part
I
of
thought you were talking about me as the pride of
Chelsea.
pride of London.
You're the pride of the Blue Lounge. I'll give you that. You're the pride of the Blue Lounge. So big up to you. Just a shout out to Elijah. He's gonna have something to celebrate today, so it's good for him, isn't it?
Not yet. 3-1 now. So.
Oh, they scored. They scored.
They scored a penalty.
3-1.
They scored a penalty.
Right.
So
Let's
it's
see
the
what
Arsenal
happens.
thing. They're 3-1 up, but it's still tight for Arsenal, isn't it? And how comes Arsenal got no players down for with COVID? But anyway, it's another story. Yeah. So I'm here representing London today.
Big up.
Nearly over my COVID, so I'm quite good at the minute. So yeah.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
2 more
Good to
days
hear.
and I'll
Good
be
to
out of
hear.
isolation. Yeah.
Yeah, my daughter will be out of isolation tomorrow, so good to hear
That's
everyone is on the mend. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right.
Tex in the chat is asking. He's saying big up to everyone, and he's saying open stream Mo. Tex, no, not just yet. We will open the stream later on. Once we do our predicted lineup, then we will do an open stream for the last half an hour. 45 minutes, but at this point it's not an open stream. What's Wasim saying? Big up more Arsenal. Yeah, Wasim. Arsenal are 3-1 up. You know what? Leeds are kind of. We started them off by beating them, and then Man City took over, and now every team is having a go at them. So. At least we were the catalyst to their demise. Let's just put it that way. It is what it is. It is what it is. Big up to everyone. Welcome all to the stream. We're gonna have a good couple of hours discussing the match and discussing the current situation where we are. Before we get into the discussion for the match, from what I understand is. Today, we had 2 positive tests within the Chelsea camp. Within a few hours, it was changed to, it's not within the camp, because the camp can be physios, trainers, players, staff, it could be anyone. But within a couple of hours, it was mentioned that no, we've had 2 positive tests within our squad, players. I haven't been able to confirm who the players are, but there are rumours that suggest Reece James is one of those players who has tested positive. And again, I can't confirm that. I've actually reached out to a few, and no one has been able to confirm it, but they say that that's what is being reported within the establishment. So I don't know. It's right, it's wrong, I have no idea. Therefore, when we come to do our predicted lineup, we're going to take into account that Reece James may not be available. We also don't know who the second name could be, so it could be anybody else. We know Kai Havertz wasn't feeling too well. He did test negative. Has he returned a positive test today. I don't know. I can't speculate. I have no idea. However, the question is, and this is what I want to address before we get into the preview. Chelsea have 6 players currently isolating for COVID. 6. That is a big chunk of our squad, lads. A big chunk of our squad. From what I understand, 3 of those players are attackers. Could be more, but 3 of those players are attackers, and 2 of those players are defenders. Yes, one of them is already injured, but still, 6 of our players have tested positive. I want to know, under what circumstances is the Premier League going to look into this and decide to postpone this game? The next 3-4 games, because we are missing these players for 10 days. And like Tuchel said, rightly so, if you're going to cancel a game because of the positive results that we have, you need to look at cancelling a block of 10 days. And all the games that fall within those 10 days. I'm missing my players for 10 days, isolated. Regardless of the fact that when they come back, they're going to have to get back into shape and whatnot. But for those 10 days, they're missing. So if you're going to cancel a game, postpone a game, you got to do that on a block of 10 days. Rightly so. But when is the FA, or it's not actually the FA, it's the Premier League, I believe, who decides on this. But when are they going to make a decision? And if they are going to make a decision from the match referee, because apparently he is the one that is ultimately accountable for making that decision, can't he make that decision a day in advance? Because logistically, it would do a lot of good for players, for fans, for people to know that the game is cancelled or postponed a day in advance. So, where are we in respect to this? Lads, let me hear your thoughts and your opinions and your information in regards to this particular scenario that we find ourselves in. Let me hear it, lads.
Well, they'll make a decision once Manchester City and Liverpool are affected, I think. Until then, it's that's just my cynical side. But it's just ridiculous. And this is giving teams an unfair advantage, isn't it? I'm watching Arsenal play Leeds. They're 4-1 up now, by the way. And Arsenal have got no player affected. Leeds have practically got half this second squad out there. All the people on the bench are from their academy setup. So, in normal circumstances, Leeds, would have given them a better match than what they're doing at the moment. So I know it's a difficult situation because we know that games are coming thick and fast. We've got a World Cup to think about as well, all the fixtures that need to be fit in. And for us, it's like it's quite a difficult one. We've got the World Club Cup what we're going to as well, haven't we? So if we're with this having a fixture pile up, is it going to be any good for us anyway? Because I'm thinking, if we have, we're going to have to find a way of getting these fixtures in, and there's going to be a massive pile up, and then you're going to have the same situation of one game every 2 days or something ridiculous like that. So I think it's a lose-lose situation for us, whatever they decide.
You know what, Max? I can see that, but at least we'll have some of our injured players back, and we will have a full squad to play these matches. Yes, I mean right now we're playing matches every 3 days, so if we're gonna play matches every 2 days, okay. But at least I have my full squad to play those matches, hopefully, because right now Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek are injured, and we're gonna play Kante and Kovačić, who literally just recovered. So I'm not too comfortable on this. I mean, we can literally see Jorginho. I keep saying Jorginho. We can literally see Kovačić and Kante get injured tomorrow, and we will have zero midfielders.
But it could be the same if you're playing 2 games every day. Then you're going to bound to get injuries as well. So be damned if you do, be damned if you don't.
Players. Yeah. No. It's definitely a uncomfortable position to be in, whichever way we're going to do it. But there's lesser evils, I guess. Lesser evils. Xavi CFC in the chat. Big up to you. We don't know, Xavi. We don't know if they're going to be cancelled. I would like to see them postponed. To be honest, I would like to see them postponed. I see what Max is saying. I understand what Max is saying, but I think it'll be better for us to postpone them. And I think we could be in a similar situation to where we were in the last lockdown, where the season is extended. I know we've got the World Cup coming next season. I know we've got a whole bunch of tournaments within this time frame. And it's going to be a mad headache for whoever is going to be trying to sort this out. But somebody's got to do something, because Chelsea playing these matches with not just Chelsea. Clubs are playing these matches with 15-year-olds sitting on the bench. Today, Leeds United have a 15-year-old sitting on their bench. If he comes on, that will be a record for the youngest player ever to play in the Premier League. So something's got to be done about this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but the way I look at it, the way I understand where Max is coming from, Mo. If you guys look at it, even though it will benefit us, but if we play because of the amount of fixture pile-up we have, and also we have to travel out of the country, we will be playing every 48 hours for the rest of the season. I think that will even be worse for us. That will be even be worse for us, especially like who are you gonna call up? Even our youth team, we don't. We've loaned technically everybody. So, and also this 3 substitute rule. I don't understand why English football, they're so archaic. They think that they know everything. They think they don't want to change. They think they're too special. Everything about this country is like people are living in the 16th centuries. We're not. You gotta move with the time. Football is different now. Even in the 90s and even in the early 2000s, and now football, if you watch it, they're totally different. Now football is high intensity, and that's pressure on your body. If you listen to people like Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher, they don't even know nothing about modern football. If they were playing now, they wouldn't be a Premier League players, because they don't have the mental capacity or the physical capacity to play how football is played now. So when I see old players sitting on television or whatever talking rubbish about, they shouldn't have 5 substitution or whatever, I believe the squad should be 30-man squad now, and also it should be 5 substitution. The football have changed. A human body is not meant to absorb this amount of physicality in them. It's not possible.
Didn't they put it to a vote?
I think it comes down to more just the.
That's what I mean.
Fixtures they got to play too, right?
They put it to a vote, but the vote is archaic. It's archaic. They should stop this thing about we don't want to change. You have to move with time.
It was the big clubs that were for it,
the
and
small
clubs
were against it.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm talking about. That's the majority. The majority are against it because they want things to stay the way it was.
It was.
You know when football started.
The only teams that are complaining about are the big squads, because
it's not really
the big squads have more games to be contested, right? So the Chelseas, the Liverpools, the Cities and whatnot, they have so many games, and then all of their players are internationals as well. So they go play in the Euros, they come back, and they play like once every 3 days.
And
you look at
this thing about advantage.
Sorry, international player, if that.
I was gonna say this thing about advantage. That's cockable crap. Sorry, Mo. Sorry, I just can't help it. Sorry. To be honest, I don't understand. In life, everybody has an advantage. Everybody you see, you have advantage over the other person. It's always been like that. For you to think that without the substitution there's no advantage, there's advantage every time in life. Okay, England have more advantage than Scotland. Scotland have more advantage than Wales in football, in everything. That's the way life is. For say, we want equal water. That's not accurate. They're just archaic. They just don't like to change things. When football before, you were not allowed substitution. Then they brought in 1 substitute. Okay, and before you only allow, I think, 3 people on the bench, then 5, then whatever. Because you have to move with time. Football in the 2000s is not the same as football now. Even in the 2010s, they're not. We don't play the same way. Players now are totally different. All they do is run. How many players have you seen having heart issues recently? Because their body cannot absorb the running. You're using so much amount of your everything that you're supposed to have for the rest of your life. You're using it in 10 years.
You
I
know
don't
what?
understand what people think. These people are not robots.
Yeah, it's a good point, because what you're making, the way that the style of football is now, you've got wing backs who have to be up and down the pitch for 90 minutes. If anyone's played that position before, they'll know how tiring that position is. Okay. You've also got high press teams. If you look at, do you see the amount of energy when Manchester City played against us? When they, that amount of energy they expended, because we couldn't get out of our half, could they? Because we're on, when we switch the ball from left to right, their players were just moving from left to right, and they did it for 90. I said they're going to tire soon, but they didn't. They did it for the 90 minutes. When Watford played against us the other day, I was thinking, where's all this energy coming from? And as MDT said, this is what players are doing time and time. The game's changed. Back in the day, years ago, you know what they used to do? When Liverpool used to win those leagues back in the 70s and 80s, for the last 15 minutes, they just used to knock the ball around their back line and pass it back to the goalkeeper, who was Ray Clements at the time. He used to pick the ball up, they used to throw it back to him, and that's how they spent the last 15 minutes of the game. So a lot of people are saying, okay, you only had one substitute back then in my day, and 12, you only had 12 man squad, 15 man squad or whatever, but it was played at a slower tempo. This is now, you've got to be at your top athletically. You have to be at the top of your game all the time, week in, week out. A 30-man squad, like MDT says, and 5 substitutes makes perfect sense. After lockdown, a lot of the teams in Europe adopted this way of play, and they've kept it. We're the only team in the top European league who went back to the free substitutions. And if it's a case of there's going to be a lockdown and a reset, they have to go back to that way, because that's what they did last time, and I can't see them not doing it. They have to go back to the 5 substitutes if there's going to be a fixture backlog.
Yeah, no, definitely needs to be done. Definitely needs to be addressed. I want to say big up to Zavi. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Zavi, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
How are you?
Yeah,
How you doing?
I was just on the phone real quick. Sorry about that. I was listening to you guys talk.
No worries.
How's everybody doing? Chilling, man. I kind of like. How you doing? I kind of have heard everybody's thoughts and opinions. I think this postponement will be good. I know it'll cause a future like fixture pileup, which we're gonna probably have anyway. But I think if this happens, it'll be good for the squad, because I think this side needs a mental break. What we've been going through lately, I don't think we're in the right space mentally. And I don't know if the players are playing at 100. I think even if we still fill the team, there's guys there that are playing with a lot of injuries. Conte and Kovačić coming back. They're going to be nowhere near in shape to play that game. No matter what, those injuries, if you played football before, those injuries, like, you can't just come back and play match fit. You're going to start cramping up. And the way we over rely on in the middle of the park, or not even, they control the tempo. And Kovačić, he's a ball handler, so a lot of the game flows through him. So he's not going to be really able to affect the game the way he wants, you know what I mean? And we have two more cases. Who could tell if those, imagine if that happens to like Reece James or Mendy, and we're playing a Wolves side away, that could be very tricky for us. And if this happens, I think the league should start, because the cases are rapidly picking up, and I feel like the next round is just going to be more tests as we go along, and these guys have contact in the squad. So I think the league needs a break just for right now, until they know how to get this under control and come together to see because there's just too much games being suspended.
Yeah,
So
you see, the problem is, Javi, though, this is a moneymaker for them. Like, the
oh
Christmas
yeah, that
period
is
is
true.
make their money,
That
you know?
aspect, yeah.
So they're looking at it like, well,
Yeah.
if we can just get through this next weekend, then we'll start looking to postpone games. But this is the most watched league in the world when it comes around the Christmas period. So I can't see them really, taking the opportunity when they have all eyes on them to say, we're just going to suspend the games now. It just doesn't make sense when you look at the finances. And then on top of that, I want it to be canceled because I'm looking at it like this. Whether you have fixture congestion now, which is what we're in, or you have fixture congestion in March, it's still fixture congestion.
Yeah.
For us,
Same
we would just
thing.
have more healthy bodies. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
same thing, different
I want
time.
to see a full strength squad going at those that fixture congestion rather than half the squad going at fixture congestion. So regardless of when you get that fixture congestion, it's going to come, regardless of
Yeah.
whether it's now or it's March or April or whatever. It's going to come. So,
And not to cut you or anything, just a point that I wanted to finish making is that, like, if this injuries and stuff keep happening, I think we should realize that we do need a couple reinforcements in January if the club is smart to help us be better suited and prepared for the things that will come up for fixture congestion.
what positions?
But
definitely.
the problem. The problem is that we'll need to get rid of a couple to
That is true.
We've got a 25-man squad. We've got
I do think we should cancel Sayul's loan.
Yeah, Saul got there. Someone like Louis Spake who doesn't even play. So he's in the squad, but he's not even playing. So yeah, I could understand it. We got to put in and bring in players who are actually going to make a difference within the squad. Rather than having these players filling up a place in the squad who are not playing. And what MDT, I'm not sure if you watched the stream before, Xavi, but he's made a good point. We need to start bringing in a few of our players from the youth setup as well, like Vale, people like that, need to come into the first team bubble to sort of reinforce the squad a bit as well. Because, yeah.
Because like that was a great point, because I feel like against Everton, Harvey Vale would have been way better suited than Sayul up front. So, and the point you made, we definitely should. I think if we can do some business now in January, which you can get done, you're not going to get a whole boatload of players, but one or two. I think we could ship 2 players out and get at least 1 or 2 players in. I think left wing back position needs to be addressed promptly. I think we're suffering, and you have a Digne at Everton right now who is out of favor from the manager, and he's not playing. I think that's a perfect opportunity to seize on that, and he's not going to go for super crazy money or anything like that. So I think that's an opportunity to take advantage, January.
And
big up MVP too.
Yeah.
Some point I've been listening to the stream. Some points have been making, especially defending Rudiger and Lukaku. Big up.
Here's another
listen,
question.
Xavi,
how are you guys doing?
Xavi is one of those guys that sits there, takes notes, waits for his opportunity, comes on and smashes them all out. Take it away, Xavi. Let's hear it, Xavi. Let's hear it.
Nah, I was just saying because like that I've heard the streams. I think the last stream I heard when there was a big Lukaku debate, and I think you guys did it, even though like a lot of there's arguing. You guys did well to stamp out the negativity that's going on and the unfairness. And I think MDT and these guys and you guys bring a very rational perspective, because like I don't know if you guys watch other streams, it could get very hectic and a lot of shouting and screaming matches going on. So like I like listening, especially from a fan, like particularly, I know I'm giving a lot of praise to MDT, but he's experienced and knowledgeable. I think he's been a fan longer than a lot of us on the stream. So he's coming from a very experienced knowledge base, and like Rudiger, the rhetoric that's used around Rudiger, like sell him, let him go, and like dissing on him and not suited for backcourt. It's very unfair and biased comments. So I like when people attack the biased narratives, especially on Lukaku, a guy that's came in, done well for the first part of the season. When a couple games out scoring, but still affecting the game, gets injured, still gets called this and that. There's no patience for him, and then like being able to stamp out those lazy narratives is important, because viruses are toxic. So people are going to start using that, and it's going to breed a healthy space around our fan base. So I like that those unfair.
What about me and Couch, man? Me and Couch have been.
Yeah, I mean,
Max as well and Couch. I even more.
No.
Couch.
Listen. Just hold on before you say something about Couch, Xavi. In regards to MDT, He's doing what Rudiger's doing. He's negotiating a new contract with the Blue Lounge, so he's got to keep his performance up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What I got to say about
Max.
Thank you,
Max.
No, listen.
Now, I had to say it now because, sorry, Max, to cut you. I had to say it now because I was listening to the stream. I'm like, this guy is cooking his points. I'm like, oh my God. So I have to give him flowers now. You guys all have great points, like Couch defending Lukaku and stuff like that.
You know I do, man. Come on now.
Yeah, the thing is with Couch, I don't want to give Couch a big head, but listen, before Lukaku came, I was saying that he'll be a good signing for us. Couch was totally against the signing, okay? But since he's come, he's not been, he's looked at the situation and he's been at a level-headed conversation rather than sort of getting on the negative all the time. And now he's one of his biggest defenders because he sees the situation and what's going on. And that's what I like with supporters. I just don't like agendas and getting in the way of what's going on. You've got to do the eye test and you've got to be real. You can't just, okay, he may have 4 good games and then he has 1 bad game and all of a sudden, he's rubbish because he's had that 1 bad game or something, and they're waiting to get onto his back or something. But
bro, I don't have any agenda, man. I watch the game and I try and
Max,
be objective about what I see.
if you just Couch, Max, and Mo, and even Javi, have you guys noticed Ruben has been playing injured for the past 7 games, but have you seen the attack on him? Because the attack on him is unbelievable. You knew it was the same people that didn't want him at the beginning of the season at the squad. They all turn on him. He cannot. When you're injured, you are limited. You cannot do what your body wants you to do. You just can't do it. You're in pain. But people don't care about that. It's like their agenda has been proven. Oh, we told you, he can't play the 6. Oh, we told you, and they're dismissing all the good games he had in the beginning of the season as well. So all of a sudden, I don't understand. Why do you hope for a player to fail? I don't get that. Why do you want your point to be proven right?
It's more about
I don't
you being
understand.
proved right rather than the team. That's what it's about.
And it's not
them as a
like,
fan saying, "I was right. I told you so."
Listen. I don't. Sorry, Xavi. Can someone just block this dude? Oh man!
How do you block?
Wow, you can't even say that name.
I was gonna read it, then I realized what it said. Listen, guys. Don't even attempt to declare.
You can't even say that name because we want you.
Listen. All right, people. I've actually put 5 minute subscriber, so you got to be a subscriber for 5 minutes before you can comment on my stream. And they subscribe and they sit there for 5 minutes waiting for that 5 minutes, and then just to put that spam in there. So, they're determined. They are determined. So listen, Xavi. One thing that we pride ourselves on the Blue Lounge is we don't have agendas.
Yeah.
We don't have favoritism.
We
may have bias. We may have hold on. I'm finishing. We may have biases. We may have biases, but that's natural. Everyone is going to have a certain bias. If you come from the same area, this kid grew up and he's playing for Chelsea, or if you have something in common with a particular player, you're obviously going to have a bias. However, end of the day, we are here to support our club. We are here to promote positivity surrounding our club. Yes, we're going to have days where our club does badly. We're going to criticize. We're going to address issues. End of the day, we're not anti-Chelsea. And unfortunately, some of these channels who are supposedly Chelsea fan channels, they're not. And you can see it. And I'm not going to say which ones, but everyone's seen these channels and seen the content and seen what they're saying. And when your club needs you and you turn your back on them and your club, you're not a Chelsea fan. You got to be supporting your club, especially when your club needs you, when your club isn't doing so great. That's where you got to stand up and be counted. Let me just look at the super chat. Tuchel is a victim of his own success. All right, Tuchel is a victim of his own success. Champions League win papered over our cracks. Obvious, we need a CDM, and in hindsight, Lukaku is not a typical Tuchel striker. Tuchelista, this is the first time I've actually seen you comment on my stream. If you've commented in the past and I've missed it, I'm sorry, but thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Listen, I wouldn't say it papered over cracks. I I wouldn't say that because it was a success. We had success. He came in building on a team, building on a season that wasn't so successful when he came in. But then he turned it around and he achieved success by winning the Champions League, by finishing top 4, just about, and started off the season by winning the Super Cup.
Yeah,
And
I think what he's saying
where we are
is,
today.
I think what he's saying is the fact that we kind of like
Go on, Catch.
Yeah, there were errors within the team even when we won the Champions League, and like I'm not necessarily going to say that he's wrong in that respect. Like I think that there's still some holes in the team that winning the Champions League, and I feel like that's the case a lot of the times with the board. Like sometimes when we get a big win, they do the minimum the next season rather than like using the opportunity to like really springboard the team to the next level, right? I think that's the biggest knock. Every time we win a big trophy, they don't go to the next level with it.
These cracks, sorry, Cash, these cracks are not to do with Tuchel's system, his philosophy, his style. These cracks are to do with the team that he has inherited. Okay, because don't forget, this is a team that was built for Lampard, for his system, on the back of XYZ manager. So
it's not even being built for Lampard. It's a hybrid of Lampard it's a hybrid of Lampard, Sarri, and Conte.
Exactly. That's why. That's exactly what I said.
You've got Alonso you've got Jorginho.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. Varane, thank you for the super sticker. Much appreciated. Much love. Varane, thank you for sticking around. I know you actually left the channel for a little while, but then you came back. So thank you for doing that. Much love, much respect, and thank you for your continuous support. I see Julius is in the chat. Julius, speak up, everyone. Yeah, Julius. If anyone is biased, it's you, mate. I'm kidding.
Who's that one? Who's that labelled that Julius, by the way? Which one of the panelists?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
No, he said bias is when you criticise Ziyech and Jorginho. I don't know who's referring to.
Jorginho, he's referring to maybe Couch, because Boogeyman's always defending Jorginho. Ziyech is referring to me. When it comes to Ziyech, he's referring to me.
Don't put my name in there, man.
I don't know. Anyway, he's not referring to Boogeyman because Boogeyman loves Jorginho, right? Anyway, Boogeyman is coming in due course. People, I'm going to jump into the preview. Do you guys want to watch the Tuchel press conference? Or not really, huh? It's all about COVID and whatnot.
No.
Right, let's just jump in to some of these lineups. I have a feeling, and I promise I haven't checked. I've only seen MDT's first lineup, which included Reece James, which I'm guessing because he's made the second one, he's taking him out. So I haven't seen his lineups. Lads, we're going to show you the predicted lineups for the panelists, and then we're going to discuss them, and then we're going to do our own lineup. Before we jump into that, keep in mind that Jorginho is injured. He has been injured for quite some time, and that injury, the pain, is something that he can't overcome, and he may not be playing tomorrow. Ruben Loftus-Cheek is in the same boat. He's aggravated that injury in the last match. Therefore, Kante and Kovačić would likely start as per Tuchel's press conference. We have 4 players missing due to testing positive, and they are remind me. Callum, Timo Werner, Lukaku, and Chilwell.
But Chilwell's not coming back anyway.
Yeah, and you also have 2 who tested positive today, who we can't confirm their names. And like I said earlier in the stream, it's rumored that Reece James is one of them. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind when we address the lineups.
Hopefully, Sal's the other one.
That's such a big.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say
Reece James. The Reece James.
I don't wish that on anyone. I don't wish that on anyone.
But I have a question. Why can't they? Would they have to release how long before the game? Why can't they release the names?
Why is your fantasy
Oh,
team struggling?
I think it's
Nah,
to
I'm
do with
struggling.
it's to do with giving too much away before your match. I think that's what it is. I don't think Tuchel wants to give too much away before the match. All right, so we're going to start with Couch.
Wait,
What's up, Mo? Go on.
no, I was gonna ask because I sent two. When I had the information about Reece, I changed my lineup.
Yeah,
I sent the
I
last
know.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm actually gonna do it this way. I'm gonna do Couch. I'm gonna miss Boogie Man. Hopefully he'll be back by the time we get to his. I'll do Couch. I'll do Declared. I'll do MDT, and then I'll do you. All right. So this is Couch.
I've stuck one in as well, so you should have one for
Yeah,
me.
you haven't sent it. Hold on, let me have a look.
Yeah, I sent it. I sent it during the
I
stream.
saw it. I was playing Regista, wasn't I?
Oh, I see it. It's right at the bottom. It's right at the bottom. Lads,
not that
do me a
one.
favor.
No, that was
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. Do me a favor. Do not use that group for any kind of chat. Don't chat in that group because I'm keeping that purely for updates. The other group is where you are welcome to chat about anything and everything you want to chat about. But this one, just leave it purely for updates. All right, so this is Couch Critics lineup. He's got Mendy in goal. Chalobah, Thiago Silva, and Rudiger in the back line. I think Chalobah is he's not 100%, but yeah, he's fit. He's fit.
Who is these
Azpilicueta.
days?
Well, yeah, he's just fit. He's walking. He can stand up straight. All right, so you got Azpilicueta, Alonso on the wing back positions. You got Kovačić and Jorginho in the center. Jorginho, Couch.
That's right.
Callum. Callum.
Oh
Havertz.
shit! Yeah, my bad.
Yeah.
Bad. I forgot he has cat. So put you can take it. Oh, let me send you.
I can't. Callum, you know what? I had high hopes for what's his name, Couch Critics lineup. I mean, he's normally bang on.
Too many injuries, man. Too many injuries.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at Declared's one. Let me share
Well, I
Declared's.
still got Reece James. But, yeah.
Do you? Come on, guys. What is this? All right, we'll just change it. We'll just pretend he's who? Who do you want? Azpilicueta and Chalobah here.
Yeah, we'll
You know
do
what?
that, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, the thing
I'm
was,
taking-
you said it wasn't confirmed, and I thought in my head, okay, yeah, because it's
All
going
right,
to obviously be Alonso and
That's-
Saul, so we won't.
I'll take that. I'll take that. Listen, people. Yeah. We got another one. We got another one. Seriously? Oh my god. Hey, guys, just block these people.
He's
Just go.
gassed because Arsenal won, so he's come on as an Arsenal supporter, I think.
Just
So.
block them.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, I'm actually going to accept this from Declared. I'm going to accept this from Declared because we don't have confirmation as of now that Reece James is unavailable. So I'm going to accept this lineup as it is. Listen, Tex, like I said to you, this stream is closed. I'll open it towards the end of the stream. It's only for my regulars, my panelists, up until the end of the stream where I open it to everyone. I know you've been on a couple of times, but just bear with me and I will bring you on towards the back end of the stream. Declared, talk me through it, mate. Talk me through it.
Well, Mendy speaks itself.
Yep.
Rudiger as well. I think Silva's probably played too many games. That's why I put Christensen there.
Sure.
But I could see him still playing though. But I think, if we're not careful with Silva, he's going to be another one on the list. So, and then Aspi as well. I don't think Chalobah's 100% yet, so I don't think he starts. I think he played about 10 minutes. Was it last game? He did,
yeah. He did, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that was enough. And Tuchel kept saying the example of Saul, having Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek out, and he kept repeating, Kante and Kovacic can start, and that stuck in my head, and I go, yeah, he's probably going to start if he's repeating it. and then Alonso's only option, and Havertz negative test, and Mount and Ziyech, I think, most informed at the moment. But when I started this, Mo, I was gonna go a really crazy lineup, but we don't have enough players. Because I honestly can see a possibility of Sol starting left wing back as well. I can see some of these players that are doubtful starting.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Sol starting tomorrow. Literally, I would not be surprised.
What are you guys talking about, man?
Well,
Number 9. Number 9. Play him in goal. Wherever.
Guys,
Listen.
I've seen enough. I don't know about you guys. I've seen enough. All right.
Call that crap.
That guy should never. That guy should never be. That name should never be coming out of your lips when you're talking about putting up a particular lineup for Chelsea, man.
Excuse me. You think you'll get more games, Karen? More game time?
You know what? I have a feeling. Declared that we may see Mason Mount drop into midfield.
6, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because Kante and Jorginho are both not 100%, and as a makeshift, I wouldn't say a 6, I'd say an 8. Mason Mount could play as an 8, and play one as an 8 and one as a 6 in the center of the midfield. But this lineup is.
I was thinking that too. Like cover Kante count as one position, so he's one plays for about half and sub the other one for another half. Possibility, even Chalobah in there maybe. Maybe all our subs are based on middle of the park, but it was too hard to toy around with. I mean, I'm interested to see what other people have as well.
Yeah.
Because I was doing different concepts.
Wow. All right. This is MDT. MDT's done something nice here. I can see it happening. Definitely can see it happening. Let me bring it up. So this is what MDT's gone for. He's gone for Christensen in midfield. With Ziyech, Havertz, and Mount up front. That I can see happening. That I definitely can see happening. And I think it normally would be more likely to have Chalobah in there, but I think because of his current physical condition, it'll make more sense to have someone like Christensen ahead of Chalobah in midfield. Yeah. Definitely can see it happening. MDT, give me your thinking behind the team, mate.
Yeah, that was exactly the reason why I moved Christensen there instead of Chalobah, because they both can play there. But Christensen, because of his field of hit, so that's the position he play. Even he used to play that. Even for his national team, that's where he plays most of the time. But also at Chelsea, when he was younger, he used to play there. So, but even Kante, I wanted to bring Mount back and put Pulisic at Mount's position. But I was thinking because Kante has been back for 4 or 5 days, he might be able to start, maybe not finish. But that was the idea behind it, is because of I don't think we will play Kova and Kante together. That's risky. If they go down, that's it till January. They're not coming back. So I don't think he will risk having Kante, Kova, and Chalobah all being almost walking on one leg together at the same time. Because if all 3 of them get injured, that means you will use all 3 substitute. All 3 of your substitution will be used at because of injured players. I don't think he will risk using more than 2 injured players on the pitch. So that's the idea behind it. Because I wanted to go drastic, because I wanted to drop Mount at Kante's position and put Pulisic at Mount's position. But I think that's as well Mount has been on good goal scoring form. He might not want to take that away from the forward line. So that's the idea behind my lineup. The rest of it, they pick each other. The only other people I'm worried about is Rudiger and Thiago Silva. They've played too much. They've played so many games.
You know what, Mo? Looking at this lineup, it's a strong team. The problem is, if anybody needs to be replaced, we have a problem, Because who do we bring in? We don't. I mean, you know, I would play this team, you know, and I'd be confident. But then if I have a you know, I want to bring on a wing back. I mean, the only option I have is Pulisic. Defender, Malang Sarr. Midfielder, who do I bring on? Barkley, Niguez. Attacker, I'm done. If it's an attacker, I'm done. I might as well bring in Kepa. He can go and attack. You know, we have an issue when it comes to depth right now. And all right, let's move on. Let's
you want to know what's funny, mate? There's one more player.
Go on.
Like, so that was with Reece James out. Yeah, there's one more. So it could
Tell
be.
me.
You know, I'm saying we don't know who it is. I'm saying the scenario. Yeah.
Exactly.
So there could be anyone on the list, and you're trying to play the scenario.
Exactly. Yeah. Spot on.
I got my lineup in the chat now.
I think it might be Havertz. You know, I don't want to jinx it, but I have a feeling it might be Havertz.
Like he had one negative and one positive.
Yeah.
I'll say one thing here. I'm gonna just say one thing here. I rather they play Rudiger as a striker than to even bring Saul as a striker. I'm being honest with you. Put Rudy there. No. Put Rudy there. Let him fight with the defenders. You know.
Like, did you see?
Go on, Zabi.
Did you see that when we played that last game? He tries to cross it, hits it out of bounds, and starts smiling and laughing.
Saul.
Yes.
That was terrible. That cross. He was in such a good
but
area
like
too.
attitudes like that shows that you just don't care. Like we're struggling against Everton, and you see Rudiger just flailing his arms out, like getting frustrated because they want to win the game. Like I don't, as a teammate, you would hate to see that. As somebody, you're pouring your heart and effort into the game, and a guy makes a completely bad cross and is not even putting his hand up or apologizing, starts laughing.
Spoiler. No, hold on. Yeah, spoiler. No, actually, there's a couple of players that are different. So this is Max Burton. Max Burton, talk us through it, mate.
Yeah, so I know this is a risk at the minute, but obviously with the two. But I just thought, obviously, I don't think Jorginho is going to play, and then Loftus-Cheek's got that injury. So I see in what MDT's put now, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, give them a half if they're not doing well. You could substitute them off for the second half. But I think we need to start this game well, because last week, against Everton, we didn't start the game well. We gave Everton confidence in that game, and the more we went without scoring a goal, then it was it was harder for us, because Everton, as I said, they kept growing in confidence. Wolves are a team who, I fear for us tomorrow, because Wolves, they narrowly lost to Liverpool and Man City. Both arguably, one for a goal in the 96th minute and another one for a penalty, which wasn't. So they're going to be hard to break down, and without any attackers, it's going to make our job that bit harder. So the three at the back, Chalobah. I think Chalobah, okay, he may not be as fit, but he gives us something going forward on that right hand side. If what's his name's out, Reece James is out. Azpilicueta doesn't really give us enough attacking wise, but what Chalobah does, at least he's quite progressive, similar to what Rudiger is on the other side. He'll carry the ball and try and make something happen from the back. If Wolves, as I think they're going to be doing, are playing with that stubborn low block, which they will probably be doing, because obviously they're going to be missing Raul, because he got sent off the last game, didn't they? So yeah, so the attack's going to be blunted even further. So Alonso, obviously, it picks itself, the wing backs, because of injuries. I think try Pulisic on the left. He didn't. I don't think he'd played too well down the middle the other day. I think on the left.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. If Havertz is fit, he should start in that position. Definitely. Yeah. Pulisic, right or left doesn't really bother me. But Max, I want to ask you a question, and I'm asking this question because I've actually seen Couch's lineup already. So this is relevant to everybody. So this is for you, Max, and for everyone who has submitted a lineup. None of you have thought about putting on Malang Sarr in this game.
What?
No. Listen. Malang Sarr is fit. Malang Sarr.
Saul.
Sorry. No. Malang Sarr and Saul are not comparable. Malang Sarr and Saul are not comparable. Saul, I really do not want to see him wearing a Chelsea shirt, even on the bench. Even on the bench, I don't want to see him having that badge represent. He doesn't represent Chelsea. I'm sorry, and the reason why I'm saying this is because he's here all alone. He's not an actual, fully fledged Chelsea player. Because if he was, I'd have to show him a little bit more patience. But Malang Sarr, he's not performed badly. He's had errors, but Malang Sarr, if he's fit, if he's not tested positive, if he's not one of those players who's tested positive, he should be on this pitch,
bro.
No.
Are you trying to keep clean sheets?
I disagree.
Haven't I kept the clean sheet in how long?
I'm trying to keep players walking on their feet, man.
Alonso, you want Malang Sarr? Come on, dog.
Malang Sarr is an accident waiting to happen. Sorry, don't get me wrong. He's got some good attributes about his game, but for me, when he's up against some of our top defenders, he shows that he's got a lot to do to improve in the side. And as Couch is saying, if you have him and Alonso on that left-hand side, that's a recipe for disaster. Is Neto back? Because the Wolves have got some decent wingers. Don't underestimate Wolves when it comes to attacking.
Traore.
And Traore, the pace of Traore. Yeah, can you imagine that? Yeah, those two.
When does Rudiger get a rest?
When he signs the contract.
Brentford, right? There's Brentford resting men.
Couch is gone.
The only prediction I would try with Sarr. Sorry, the only I'll try him as a left wing back. If Alonso's not doing well, he can be Alonso's replacement. But again, that's just ahead of what's his name, Saul, if needs be. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't have him in there. No.
I'm guessing, Couch, you rather play Jorginho, who's injured.
When you guys say injured, he's managing pain, right? Like he's got a back injury, right? And what we've seen the last few weeks is like he's been managing the pain. So I don't think any of these guys are gonna get full 90s. I think Jorginho probably comes out. If this is the lineup, Jorginho probably gets you about 60 minutes. Hopefully the match is settled by then. And then you bring on, the other half of your midfield, whether it be, Ruben and Conte or whatever. But I don't think that I think that's where the most rotation is going to happen when we have substitutions in the midfield. With regards to, not playing Jorginho, my worry is just, and again, like this is a really bad time to be mentioning Jorginho and tempo and dictating tempo because he's just been not good at it the last couple of games. But I still don't see how we gain control of this match if we don't have somebody that can actually control the match. That's why I have him in there. I'm hoping that there's a bit of a return to form for him, but this is just such a crucial match now. Like, let's just be real. We need leaders on the pitch. We need guys that understand what the manager wants in their preferred roles. And, with the injuries that we have right now, there's not much that we can do to, affect it in any other sort of way. So I went with Azpilicueta just because I don't think that, the rumors are hot that Reece is going to be the guy that's out. I hope I'm wrong, but man, if he's out, that's even more of a problem as far as like creating opportunities to score. Chalobah comes in. I do believe that he was warming up the last match and came in for about 10 minutes. So that's a signal to me that the injury that he suffered wasn't that severe. He didn't miss a lot of game time either. So with that in mind, I think he comes back in again. Just needs must. Silva again needs must. He deserves a rest. Probably get that midweek if we don't play the Brentford game. But again, just too big of a match to not see him play. Rudiger is just stapled on that left. I can't see Malang Sarr anywhere near the pitch in a must-win match. Just can't. Just cannot envision that left side that is already pretty porous. Have another guy in there that's just not. You just can't really, hit your rag into and feel confident that he's going to give you a 9 out of 10, 8 out of 10 performance. So it's Rudiger, and we still have to rotate midweek. So if there's an opportunity to play Malang Sarr in the cup, then you play him. Sure, Alonso, you know what I feel about him, but it is what it is. Kovačić, I have him in there mainly because it's not like his hamstring injury is still what kept him off the field. It was the COVID protocol. So I do believe that while he's not match fit, he can probably give you some minutes just because he's not necessarily he's not injured as he was before. Pulisic comes in his preferred role, I think. And then the rest speak for themselves. It's just need must at this point. Nonsense form.
Right. Cheers, Couch. Thank you. I'm surprised you didn't go with the 5 midfielder system.
Who would you play?
Maybe Havertz and Pulisic with Ziyech behind him, Mount behind him. Maybe even play Mount and Ziyech instead of.
It's just the substitutions, though. How do you change the game?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I was to have Ziyech as a 10 and Mount as an 8 with Kovačić and Kante, then I would have one sitting at back. I could have Kovačić on the bench or Kante on the bench to come in and try to utilize Mount in a more of a essential midfield role because he can't play in that position.
Right.
Okay, lads, we are now going to go and start building our combined lineup. Big up to Bobby, by the way. Bobby, thank you for jumping on. How are you, my man? You good?
Yeah, good. Hello, lads.
Hello, Bobby. Hello,
Hey,
Bobby.
Bobby.
Welcome to the stream.
Hey, Bobby, you're right.
All right, listen. We are going to go with the same formation that everybody else picked. I have put in the players that were on every single lineup that we've seen so far. So the other positions, let's do the right centre back first. Firstly, is there a case to be made for Malang Sarr? I know Couch is adamant no, and so is Max.
No.
The rest of the guys, do you think there is a case to be made for Malang Sarr to start if he is fully fit ahead of a Christensen, ahead of a Chalobah who may not be fully fit? Bobby, what's your thoughts on this? Bobby, can you hear me?
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to unmute myself. In what position at the back? Left or right?
Either. I mean, because Rudiger can be moved on this side, and we can put Malang Sarr on this side, or vice versa. It can be either. And to be honest, Bobby, the thinking I have behind this is Chalobah and Christensen could be utilized in midfield if need be.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, look, we are scraping down the bottom of the barrel, aren't we?
Yeah.
We have walking wounded and we have wounded. And if there's anybody fit, they have to be in contention. There's no point, I'm a little bit nervous hearing all this stuff of, Kovačić is going to play and that, the guy was injured. Then he was off for COVID. Now, while he had COVID, he wouldn't have been training anywhere near what he's supposed to be. And what I saw of him training today, I believe, or was it yesterday, he'd even looked as if he'd added a little bit of weight. So that just tells the whole story. He's not going to be firing on all cylinders. And Kovačić tends to take a little time to come back from injury anyway. He's one of many. I saw Lukaku training. That doesn't really mean much either. Although that surprised me because I thought he was positive for COVID.
Hold on. Bobby, you saw Lukaku training today?
Yeah, there's a video, Chelsea Unseen video. which, although it might have been an older video, I don't know. You know, people do all sorts of things.
Yeah.
So I won't really vouch for that, to be honest.
Sure.
Because it's highly unlikely he was training if he was positive for COVID. The long and short of it all is...
Unless, Bobby, because they are being tested daily. So if he returned a negative test today, that might have been the case. I mean, there are
if you've been vaccinated,
there are possibilities and scenarios. I think Lukaku is vaccinated.
Yeah, especially if you've had all 3 vaccines, that's quite possible. What I don't understand that Chelsea are doing, and I really don't understand it, is what's the point in having bubbles when you're testing on a daily basis and you're testing before and after every match? So I don't see the purpose of a bubble, unless it's because of your life outside of the training ground, possibly. But, you know, if you're testing, that will reveal whether you've been exposed or not. And the whole NHS track and trace thing reveals to people. So I'm confused by that. I don't see why we're not dipping into the academy. But yeah, coming back to your question, I think there's every chance that Malang Sarr can start. And to say, oh, he's not good enough, oh, you know, he shouldn't come anywhere near that. Well, it's good to say that when you've got the option. We don't have options. That's why we played Saul at left back in the other game.
Sorry, Bobby. We've got options. Lewis Baker, for me, I'd be more comfortable with seeing him in the midfield.
Yeah, so would I. But apparently, he's not in the first team bubble, which makes absolutely no sense.
He's in this 25-man squad, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy. I would prefer.
Why is he not in the bubble if he's part of the 25-man squad? I don't understand that.
Because he plays with the under-23s. It's very silly, you know.
But they can pull him in, though, because he's part of the squad. I'm sure that he can. Could they not put him in?
Well, this is the thing.
Not if he's outside the bubble, no.
Yeah, you know.
But needs must, right? Needs must. So you got to.
Well, exactly. You know, needs must. You've got
and even
to
Harvey Metvair, I don't care about this bubble thing. If you test them, if they're they get in, you know, because you're talking about under normal circumstances. No, but we're not talking about normal circumstances. Exactly. We're talking about so you need to be, you know, Leeds had some 15-year-old on the bench today. So we've got players in our youth setup who, for a period of time, can come in and I'm sure can do a job for a while. You know, we saw that with the Everton youngsters the other day. They came and they got a 1-1 draw. So
Max, I'll come back to you. Let me get Bobby's position. Bobby, who's your selection for either left or right? If you want, you can have him on the left or on the right. If you want to go for Malang Sarr, if you want to go for Christensen, Chalobah, it's up to you, mate. Who do you want to have in the back line?
To be honest, you know, I'm not really buying this contract nonsense. If Marina and her cronies are deciding to do some foolishness, as long as the guy is a Chelsea player, and if he's fit, that's his position. I'll take that back. Thiago should get a rest. I know he won't, but he should. Christensen is the obvious cover for Thiago. So if he is rested, then I would risk Malang Sarr on the right. If he isn't, I'll play Christensen on the right.
Okay. All right. So let's leave it open for now. Xavi, who would you have as your right centre back?
Right centre back, Christensen.
Christensen. Okay. Max Christensen, correct? Max?
I put Chalobah on my team.
Chalobah. Okay.
But wait, sorry, I forgot Chalobah's back. Yeah, I'll put him there as well.
I also got Chalobah, by the way.
Yeah. But
I'll come to you.
Going to this Malang Sarr, he can't even play well as a left thing. You're talking about playing me on the right.
I'm just talking
No,
because of the situation.
Max. I wasn't saying play him on the right. I'm saying he is a player we can play in the back line. You can play Rudiger, Christensen. You can play him. You can play him if need be. I mean, we were talking about the fact that Rudiger hasn't had a rest for God knows how long. So it's an option. It's an option.
Okay.
All right.
He definitely has to be on the bench. Definitely.
Yeah. He will be.
I'm even wondering
he
if
has
he's
to,
able
by
to
default.
start Chalobah.
I don't think we have any. I don't think we have enough players to fill up our bench anyway. So, we'll get Malang Sarr and Benitelli, Kepa. I wouldn't be surprised to see what's his name.
Harvey Bale.
Petr Cech. Petr Cech also seen on the bench with the rest of the
We have
boys.
to have 3 goalkeepers on the bench just to fill it up.
Declared, who would you have? Who would you have as your right centre back?
I think it'd have to be Chalobah.
Chalobah, sweet. Mo? MDT?
Chalobah.
Chalobah, okay. Couch?
Yeah, sorry guys. I got Chalobah too. I'm just going to be in and out,
Chalobah.
but I'm listening. Don't worry.
Sweet. Alex, welcome to the stream. Who would you have as your
Christensen.
right centre back?
Christensen.
All right. Okay, sweet. Okay, so by majority, it went to Chalobah. I'm guessing Azpilicueta right wing back, guys. Any objections by anyone?
No. If by default he's got to be, hasn't he?
Yep. Okay, now
He played quite well against Everton. Azpi didn't do badly at all, especially in the first half. Sorry to interrupt.
I'm just going to say we are limited. I mean, the only other player we can play there is, again, if the rumours are correct that Reece James is unavailable due to a positive test. If they are correct, then it would definitely be Reece James there. But sorry, if they are not correct, it'll be Reece James. But if they are correct, you have Aspi, and maybe you can play Pulisic there if you wanted to. But I don't think we'll be risking it in this game. Does anybody think we can play Mason Mount in midfield, or would we be going with the only other 2 options of Kovačić and Kante? Does anyone see a possible Mason Mount 8 role in midfield? Or are we going to go with Kovačić?
What happened to Jorginho?
Jorginho's injured.
Yeah.
Jorginho and Loftus-Cheek, they're both injured.
I would try now.
Did he said out or he said a possibility?
He said, he said Loftus-Cheek is injured. He said Jorginho is feeling a lot of pain, so he is likely to play Kante and Kovačić. That's the way he said it. Again, it's not 100%. So, you think Jorginho will play, Alex? Yeah. Does anybody else have an alternative to Kante, Kovačić, like Alex, for example?
Mount, Ziyech.
In the middle of the park.
They've done it before.
With nobody.
No, but if that is a risk.
If
I think it will be Christensen. I think Christensen, Kante, or.
I don't think this is a time to experiment.
I can see Christensen.
If Jennifer is not playing, then it's going to be Chalobah in the midfield.
Who's Jennifer?
J5.
Oh, J5.
You're right. Yeah, it could be Chalobah in the middle. Yeah.
Chalobah in the middle.
I like
the name calling.
And Christensen is going to play in the back and Chalobah in the middle. If Jennifer.
I like MTT. You guys went on earlier. I like what he said earlier.
It's a FIFA Pro you're calling Jennifer, huh?
Christensen, right?
Christensen, yeah, because what's this? Chalobah's come back from injury.
Yeah.
And Chris, it's not an experiment really, Couch, because Christensen's played here for his national team a few times. He's played.
Yeah, but this is a completely different role, though, guys. Like we've not seen him once play there for Tuchel. Like the responsibility in that role is different.
But
that's what I'm saying.
But what I'm saying is needs must.
Yeah.
This isn't a normal game, so
Why you have problem
we've got to
playing
bear that
Chalobah in
in
the
mind.
midfield?
With that,
Why-
Couch,
I don't see a problem with just playing Jorginho and
If
Kovacic.
Jorginho's not fit enough, that's the thing. Is he going to be fit enough?
Couch, honestly, if you could play Saul at left back, you can play Mendy as centre forward.
It's so true. That's a good point.
Don't worry about it.
That's a good point. That's an excellent point, but it doesn't lead to wins, which is what I want. So
I just don't understand why Christensen can play in the back and Chalobah can play in the middle.
a little bit more demanding in the middle, though. Yeah, for the running.
Just coming back
And
from
then
injury.
Tuchel has used Chalobah there before. Like we've seen evidence of Tuchel using Chalobah in the midfield.
Chalobah is the only player that played in 6.
That's true.
Out of whatever we had. And he came as
If
a
he's
sub
fit
straight
enough,
into the
yeah.
6.
Yeah, Alex, if he's fit enough, I agree with you because he can be comfortable playing as a 6 or at the back.
And I think
But-
the last team he played for, he was a 6
It's
for them.
6. He came as a sub as a 6 too.
Yeah. He plays that role, but as MDT said before you came on, because he's just come back from injury, that's quite a demanding role, and defending is a bit more, easier when you're just coming back. But if he's fit enough, and Tuchel feels that he's fit enough, I agree that we switch Christensen and Chalobah's position.
Definitely.
If you're playing Christensen, you're going to play Kovacic, correct?
Yeah.
Well, if
Cover for me,
if Jennifer is not playing, then yes.
No, I play
Alex, Jorginho, please. Jorginho.
Okay.
Jorginho. Yeah. If we're playing Christensen in defense, we're putting Chalobah up front in midfield. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so it depends on everyone agrees. Because I'm happy either way.
Sorry.
My preference would be for him to be in midfield if fully fit for that role. That would be my preference.
Let's have a vote on this. Yes or no? We'll start with MDT. You happy with this? Yes or no? MDT. Mo, can you hear me?
He's gone off for a break.
We'll come back. We'll come back to Mo. Alex, you happy with
switch
this?
it around. Chalobah in defense, Christensen in midfield.
Chalobah in defense. Christensen. Where did he go?
He just said it and went.
Yeah, he said
said
Chalobah
it.
defense, Christensen midfield.
All right. Alex, happy with this?
No.
No. Bobby, happy with this?
I love you.
Yeah. I'll go with that. Why not?
Okay. Xavi, happy with this?
I'm sorry, I looked away. Happy with what?
Look at the screen, man.
The total lineup?
No, Chalobah and Christensen.
No, not happy with that.
What would you change?
I would just swap them. I would put Christensen, RCB,
Okay.
and then
So Alex and Xavi would have it the other way around, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Bobby is happy with this. Max.
I prefer it the other way around. If Chalobah's capable of playing it and fit enough, then I would have it the other way around as well. So
Right,
for me, I'll switch it. Yeah.
Okay. So we've got 2 for this and 3 against. Declared. Yes or no?
Yeah, I'll swap it around. I don't think we've seen Christensen there.
Okay.
I don't know if
All
there's anything against that.
And Couch.
I don't know, guys. Like, are we really gonna? Okay, if this is the lineup, I would much rather see Chalobah in there than Christensen because I don't think Christensen plays there. To just drop him in there and say, yeah, go ahead and give us a game at defensive midfield doesn't make any sense to me. But to be honest with you, neither does Chalobah. Like I guess
listen, Couch. Under normal circumstances, this does not make any sense. But under these circumstances, it makes perfect sense because you need to have an alternative on the bench. And if you play it this way, you can bring in Kante or Kovacic to replace either one of them at halftime towards the end of the game. If one of them is injured, if Christensen is injured, Chalobah can go back and that midfielder can come in. So you have a little bit of wiggle room, and that's why it makes sense for this particular fixture. Who would you partner him with? Kante or Cover? Alex, no, we'll go with Couch first. Couch, who would you
okay,
partner
so
him with?
we're just assuming that Jorginho's out, right? Is that the vibe?
Jorginho's out. Well, it's an assumption, yeah.
Okay, because this is ugly. Okay, yeah, just put Kovačić in there then. I guess I don't know.
Cover.
I don't agree with any of this though. By the way, like the midfield does not make any sense to me.
Doesn't make any sense to you?
No, not really.
What would you do?
I'm just saying, like Jorginho. He didn't say Jorginho was out. He said Jorginho's carrying an injury. So for me, that means that he's not going to give away his midfield in the press conference and say that's going to be Kante and Kovačić. I think he's just letting people know that these guys are able to be rotated. I don't think they're going to get full 90s. Anybody in the midfield is going to get full 90, but I don't think that you just start like shopping and changing guys that are uncomfortable in those positions. Just because.
I'm 100% with you. I'm 100% with you. And I'll add to this also the following. We had 2 positive cases this morning or this afternoon who we don't know. It can be 2 of the players that are currently on the screen right now. And we're going to have more testing done tomorrow before the game. Now, what is the likelihood that we're going to get more positive results? I would say it's quite high, considering that we've had 6 confirmed cases within our bubble. There is a good possibility, and again, God forbid that this is the case, but there is a good possibility that tomorrow we're going to get 2 more cases. So we're just going by what we know as of now. Jorginho, he said he is feeling pain. Loftus-Cheek is injured. He will probably start Kovačić and Kante. That's what he said. Now, whether he's playing mind games with us, whether it's accurate, we don't know. So we'll just go with by what he said.
Okay. Okay, fine. So yeah, just whatever. Just Kovačić. I don't agree. I don't think that's what he said. But if you want to put Kovačić in there for me.
Well, what did he say? Because if I'm more correct, because I thought that's
the vibe I heard is they're carrying knocks.
Right.
But nobody's not carrying knocks right now. Like Jorginho's been having this back injury for however long now, and he's been playing, right? And if you think about the necessity of this game and the leadership and what we need from the midfield, who delivers what on the midfield, he's gonna play him. I think he's gonna play Jorginho. Even if he's at 60% and he only gives us 45 minutes, he's gonna play him. Barring any sort of COVID negative test, I probably put money on the fact that Jorginho's going to start the game.
Do you think? I think that's a big risk. If this guy's been carrying injuries, and remember he just played on Thursday, if he has an aggravation and he's out, then that could be a bigger problem for us. So
yeah, but a back injury is something you can manage the pain though. That's what I'm saying. It's not something where you're going to do any worse damage to it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like you're managing the pain of it. That's Daddy.
That's Mommy.
Okay, guys, I gotta do something over here. But you put
Kovačić
in there. Put Kovačić in there.
All right. Declared. MDT, you keep bouncing out, man. I'm gonna put you back in. Just don't bounce out. Don't press anything. Declared. Who would you have, Kovačić or Kante?
Cover.
Okay.
Just because Chalobah and Kante a bit the same. Yeah.
Yeah, I concur. Do you think this is the possibility that what we're doing here is a possibility, or do you think that he may play Kante and Cover, or he may introduce Jorginho, as Couch seems to think it might be the case? What's your opinion?
I mean, has he still learned his lesson from Saul and Barkley? At this stage, you can see them. You can see what you said, Mount in the middle. Anything's possible. Like he's had Chalobah in there for a little bit, and especially like we're talking about before, there's another player that's out, and you might be forced into this scenario where you got to put Christensen or Chalobah in the middle. But because I've seen Chalobah, I think it'll be Chalobah. So you can definitely see this. I won't be surprised.
Okay. All right. Sweet. So we've got 2 for Cover. Max Burton.
I would put Kante in, to be honest, because Cover obviously hasn't played for longer and just coming off the COVID thing. It doesn't give us a lot going forward, but I just think give cover a half rather than the full 90. So that's my thinking behind it.
Rotate between them, so each take a half. Start with
Yeah,
Kante.
yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah.
I can see that. All right. Okay, Xavi.
I say put cover in there.
Okay, Bobby.
Wow, what a choice. I really am not in favor of repetitively playing injured players. I think it's dangerous, and I think it's you are then putting the welfare of a human being secondary, which is wrong. This is why we have squads. What I'm in favor of is the effing FA cancelling everything for 2 weeks. However, whether that's going to happen or not is
Facts.
Sorry?
Facts. Just backing you up, Bobby. Big call.
So anyway, it's left to be seen. So between Cover and Kante, we can't play Kante from the beginning. Can we play Cover from the beginning? Gosh, it's a toss-up, isn't it? We've still got Barkley around. Barkley, did he do that much of a bad job in midfield? Yes, but sometimes when he starts, something about Barkley is that when he starts, he's better almost than when he comes on. Gosh, it's what's the difference?
I think the opposite myself.
Sorry?
I think the opposite. He's better when he comes on.
Yeah, he's better as a sub coming up than.
Well, it's a toss-up. I'll just say Cover, but an unfit Cover is not a good Cover. He's not a good Kovačić at all. So
it's not a good cover and not a good cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I listen. It's a
horrible situation.
It's a horrible situation, and to be fair, I totally forgot about Barkley.
Yeah. Do you know what? Let me be brave. I'll put I'll put Barkley. Just because the others are not fit at all, and he is.
You know what? Actually, I wouldn't put Barkley there, Bobby. I would put Barkley on the left hand side or the right hand side of Havertz.
Okay.
And I'll put Mason Mount there. Mount there. Yeah.
I would do something like that than play Kovačić that is not fit.
Yeah. I think we have flexibility. It's just how we use it. I just wish Saul could do half a job. Unfortunately. Okay, Alex, who would you have in that position?
I think it's gonna.
Baker? Sorry.
What?
Lewis Baker.
Lewis Baker.
Yeah. He would fit that position.
Yeah, but is he in the squad though?
Who knows?
He's on the roster. He's on the roster, Bobby. He's on the roster.
Yeah,
on the roster. But is he within the bubble? Is he able to play? That's the thing. Is he able to play?
From all I know, he's not within the bubble. But these are extraordinary times, and Tuchel is good at surprises. So you never know. We can only wish and speculate, really. But if he was able to, he was the only option.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Alex?
Yeah, I think Jorginho's going to play. But if Jorginho is not going to play, the only one that better suited from injuries is Kante. Kante had a knee pain. That's not a hamstring. What's his name? What Kova had.
Kovačić had, yeah.
Kovačić have hamstring. You cannot go back into the game after hamstring. You have to easy up. Knee pain, it's a little different. It's same, but it's not. I think it's gonna be Kante if we're playing over. If Jorginho's not playing.
Fair enough. So that's 2 for Kante, Barkley, and the rest is covered. Okay, MDT.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was just bumped in and out. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna go for Kante because hamstring it's a dangerous thing. If you come back too early, it's gone. It's gonna be even worse than before. So I think it will be risky to bring cover without any. I think 1 day training or 2.
Yeah, literally 1 day.
Yeah, to put him in with coming from an hamstring injury as well, that's risky. That's why even Chalobah in midfield is you can't run around with when you're coming back. Even from a grade 1 or grade 2 hamstring
that's
you
the
can't
thing.
run around like that.
That's why I would have thought Chalobah would have been in defence and Christensen in midfield because of that. But the way
you're gonna
we
run
play,
less and you're gonna run less in defense.
in theory, the way we play is different because we have a high line, so I guess you have to track back a lot. So
I think actually Chalobah. I actually think Chalobah in this holding midfield position would be doing less running than if he's on the right side of the midfield, because especially with Azpilicueta there, he's going to be having to form an extra attacker, similar to what Rudiger does on the left-hand side. But if he plays in the centre as a holder, just holding like Jorginho's role, then he doesn't have to go up and down if he just sits and protects the back line.
Yeah, Max, I will agree with that. If any other team, but Wolf, because of Adama Traore, that's where he picked the ball up.
True.
So he will run more than normal with Wolf, because that's where Adama Traore drop from the midfield and pick the ball up and run.
But
so
Traore's
his job will be to.
He's going to be Rudiger's side, though, isn't he? Traore would be more Rudiger's side.
I think it's free to roam, isn't it? So his job will be to stop him. The midfielder's job, whoever will play in midfield, their job will be to stop Traore from attacking the defense. So that's why, because of if Jorginho played there, even fully fit Jorginho will not be able to stop Traore. Imagine half a fit Jorginho. And then if we play cover, the same thing with his hamstring. And I believe Christensen will be a better suited person to even slow him down a little bit. Because if Chalobah does Kante needs to play. If Chalobah does 2 or 3 of those runs, believe me, we'll substitute him. He won't be able to do those high intensity runs chasing Traore. That's the reason. If it was any other team, I would have said yeah. But Wolves, because of Traore, that's where he runs. That's from that position. That's all. That's why I choose that. But you guys are right as well.
Yeah. It's going to be a tricky one. It's definitely going to be a tricky one.
Is there any mileage in putting Malang Sarr there? Because he often comes into that position. He doesn't play in that position, but when he plays, he's very much in midfield. Just a thought, because we're looking for fit bodies, aren't we?
Yeah. It's. I wouldn't put it past Tuchel. I wouldn't put it past him, but I'm not sure. You see, it all depends on the strength of these players coming back, and whether he's prepared to risk it. And to be honest, lads, I very much doubt this game is going to go through tomorrow. I very much doubt it. Let me hear from Eric. Eric, who would you play in the centre of the park? Eric Blue. Oh, we don't have Eric. Let me just have Kante, Kovačić, Barkley. We got a tie.
You got the final vote then, mate?
Yeah, I'm just trying to think who. Ah, boy. You know what? I'm gonna go with the philosophy that they'll both play either side of halftime. But I think we'll start with this dude. And a case can be made for both him or Kovačić. Eric, can you hear me? No, you still can't hear me. All right. Okay. I want to hear from you guys in respect to the two attackers, either side of Kai Havertz. I can't start with Eric because he's not hearing me. I'm not sure why you can't hear me. You might have your mic on mute, Eric. Like, not for the computer. It might just have like a button on it. And you just got to unmute yourself. MDT, I'll start with you. Who would you have either side of Kai Havertz?
I think Mount will play because of his goal scoring record. And the other one, I think, is between Ziyech and Pulisic, but I think he will go for Ziyech because of, he will go for Ziyech. I'll go for Ziyech and Mount.
Okay. Ziyech did play the full 90 minutes in the last game, which is something he doesn't normally do. And
hello, 1, 2.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, Eric. We can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Welcome to the stream, Eric. Welcome to the stream.
Right. Okay.
I'll come back to you. I'll come back to you in a second, Eric. I'll come back to you.
Okay.
First, welcome to the stream. I'll come back to you.
Thank you.
MDT, I think Ziyech had a good game, played well, but I think he also exerted a lot of energy. Do you think the case is more likely to be Pulisic and Mount?
And he took
You forgot Pulisic played 90 minutes as well. Pulisic played 90 minutes and he played wing back, which is more demanding.
But remember,
he played lone striker, false nine.
Go on, MDT.
Yeah, false nine, which was he played as a false nine for 60 minutes. Then for the last 30 minutes, he was playing as a wing back, left wing back. So he will be more tired than Ziyech.
Fair enough. Okay, Mount, Ziyech first.
Can I go next? Because I need to leave in a minute. I've got to do something with the family.
Go on, Max. Go on.
Yeah,
Give Eric a chance, but go on, Max.
Yeah, sorry. The reason I think it's going to be Pulisic and Mount, because if you remember, as you quite rightly said, Ziyech played a 90, and you remember he took that knock on the ankle. I'm not sure how sore it is, how painful it is, or whatever.
Yep.
So, and I think he'll come off the bench this time, because there's more for goal threat, I think, in Mount and Pulisic as well. So if we can score a goal earlier on, he can come on second half, Ziyech, and sort of dictate the tempo of the game in the second half if we're ahead. So that's my reasoning behind it.
Fair enough.
I'll try and watch the rest of the stream, guys, and enjoy the rest of it.
Big up to you, Max, and I hope you make a full recovery and a quick recovery.
Cheers.
Stay safe, brother. Stay safe.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you, Max.
Bye.
Cheers,
Bye.
Max. Bye-bye. Ziyech, Mount, Pulisic, Mount, Eric Blue. Give me your thoughts, mate.
Right. Okay. So, the midfield is interesting. I'm not sure what's going to happen with the midfield, but this looks like what we have to do. I can't think of a better solution. I'm just curious about Reece James. Does anybody know if Reece James has any?
It's rumors, Eric. There's rumors that are saying he might have a positive result today, but it's not been confirmed by no one. And I've asked, I've checked. Yeah, it's not been confirmed.
Right. So, assuming he doesn't, hopefully he'll be back in, even though he's played a lot of games, a lot of minutes. But it's a very difficult situation. So I think the team looks about right. I can't really think of a better way to do things. So I'm in agreement with the way it looks now. This is just what we have to do. We have to try to come.
Okay.
I mean, someone was talking about.
Who would you play either side of Havertz? Who would you have?
Okay, so.
So far we've had Ziyech, Mount, and we've had Pulisic, Mount. To be fair, we don't really have a lot of options.
No.
I mean, Barkley is a player that hasn't been mentioned who could, feature up front if need be.
Yeah, I think we need to. I don't know if Tuchel is willing to do it, but I think we need to create width. The players in those positions are too central. So if we use wingers, then that might help us. So I would like to see Pulisic, even though he didn't have the best game against Everton. I think
so
if he's
Pulisic, Ziyech.
Pulisic, Mount, because Mount has been, maybe he's probably been our best player so far, and he keeps contributing with the goals and the assists. So I think Mount has to play. And I would put Pulisic on the left and Mount on the right. I think that's the best solution.
Pulisic left, Mount on the right. All right, sweet. Gabriel, thank you for your super chat. It is a big possibility that I will be called off, especially if we get some positive results. Does anybody know what the situation is with Wolves? Have they had any positive results? Have they had any confirmed cases? Does anybody know? No. Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, we should actually check that. If anybody has has the ability to do that now, it'd be great. Because it might be cancelled for them, it might be cancelled for us. We'll have to wait and see. But I have a feeling that tomorrow morning something is bound to happen. I personally would want to see this cancelled. I personally would want to see it postponed, purely for the headache that we're having to just pick a starting 11 here. Gabriel, again, thank you for your super chat. Much appreciated. Big up to you. Let's go to Alex. Alex, who would you play on either side of Havertz?
Mount and Puli.
Mount and Pulisic. Okay, yeah. Same reasons as Eric for the width. Do you think that's the requirement, or is it because of the amount of games they've played, and Ziyech played a full 90 and all that kind of reasoning? What's your reasoning behind your choices? And I can see you eating, so if you want me to come back to you, I'll I can do that. Alex, show me.
I'm sorry, what did you ask?
I said I'll come back to you. Alex. I'll come back to you,
go
Alex.
ahead.
All right, go on, Bobby. In attack, who would you have on either side of Havertz? Bobby.
A little bit ago, he said he's gone for a few minutes, so.
Oh, did he? I did not see that. Okay, all right, we'll go to Xavi. Xavi, either side of Havertz, who would you have?
Ziyech and Mount. I think if Reece James, if the rumors are true and Reece James out, I think Tuchel might try to use Pulisic as a right wing back, mainly because I don't even think Wolves are going to do much attacking and they're going to play on the counter. And yeah, so even if he's not using his right wing back, I don't think Pulisic has been playing well anyway. I think Ziyech and Mount deserve to start ahead of him. So that was my front.
All right, fair enough. Declared?
Yeah, I think Mount. I think the importance there, have the midfield. And they are flexible in this last one, but I think it'll be Ziyech because he actually had a good game and then he got rested.
Yep.
I think he comes back in fresh.
All right. Okay. Okay. Couch.
Yeah, Mount's nailed on, obviously. Toss up between Ziyech and Pulisic. I think we play Pulisic just because he hasn't played in his preferred role in quite some time, and this guy needs to find some form. Ziyech, I think, can give us something off the bench in different roles, so I would like to see him coming off the bench for this one, but man, this is going to be a tough game, guys. I'm not going to lie.
Okay. All right.
Apparently, Wolves missing 6 players.
Seriously?
You see the private chat?
6 players?
Yeah, Eric Blue posted something in the private chat. Just click on it.
That's
Budo confirms Wolves.
that mixed with features.
Oh man. Yes, that's from yesterday. Yeah.
Who are the players?
I'll
It
share.
says
it.
Wolves have 2.
Hold Hold on, let me have a look. Let's see, put it on the screen. Okay, Bruno confirms Wolves could be without 6 players against Chelsea. So you got Yersin, Silva. Not sure how you pronounce that.
Huang Hee-chan.
Wang.
The others are just long-term injuries. It's not that deep. Like, honestly, their more preferred squad is going to be in the game.
Lads, this is the squad that we have picked, and to be honest, there isn't really many options we could go with. So we got Christensen, Rudiger, Silva in defence, ahead of Mendy in goal, Azpilicueta, Alonso as the wing backs, Kante, Chalobah in midfield, Pulisic, Mount, and Havertz up front. That's what we predict will be the starting lineup should the game go ahead tomorrow.
I just wanted to say something quickly because I think Tuchel was talking about the potential cancellation of the match, and I agree with what he said. So, just being what's the word? Postponing this particular match by itself isn't it's not enough because we have to play a match every 3 days. So it doesn't make too much of an impact. It doesn't help us too much, basically. Just postponing one.
We
match.
mentioned that. We mentioned that, Eric.
Okay.
These players are isolated for 10 days. Therefore, in those 10 days is a block of 3 games potentially. So if we're gonna postpone this one because of these cases, then we need to postpone the next 2 at least because of the same situation. The same players will be isolated for 10 days. But again, what is the criteria? Because Tuchel in the press conference said he's read the criteria, he's seen the criteria. I did a bit of reading, I did a bit of research. It says for health and safety issues, a game can be postponed, it can be called off. But what are these health and safety issues? What's the criteria for these health and safety issues? It says for members of the general public as well as the players. So what is it? Adverse weather conditions? Is it a threat of some sort? How many players are going to be missing before it's going to be classified as a reason? Alex, go ahead. We got.
Here's the situation with the COVID. First of all, there's so many false positive COVID tests now because of the PCR test they're making it. The way they're doing it right now is they go, and if it's positive, it's positive. But it doesn't say what variant is. Because you know that even vaccinated people get positive tests. So if you don't have symptoms, but you're positive, it's more, how you say it, chances that you actually have that variant, and it will be gone, could be gone in a quicker days than 2 days. Kovačić did not set out for 10 days.
Yeah, and in the UK right now, and specifically in London, the dominant variant is the Omicron variant. The dominant
which is not dangerous one, and the one that
it's spreadable. I mean, again, it's. I don't want to be giving medical information on my channel because we are not experts. I know you work in the medical field, Alex, but we're not experts. But from what I understand, this variant spreads quicker than the others. How dangerous it is and whatnot, I don't want to discuss it on my channel because it's not something we're qualified to do. I mean, it's one of those things. So in in London specifically, that's the dominant variant. And that is why we're seeing a massive widespread numbers and infections, specifically in London. So We'll have to wait and see. Listen, people. I really don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. Let me go around the board and ask you this: with the current situation, would you want to see the game cancelled, or do you want to see us play through these issues and just make of it what we can? I'll start with Couch and we'll work our way around the board. Couch, should the game be postponed?
Yeah, obviously. Goes without saying. I don't think it will be, just because, like I said before, just think there's too much money at stake right now. The whole world will be watching this weekend and next weekend because there's no other football. So the Prem's not gonna take their one big cash cow and say, well, we're just gonna postpone it. They'll wait till that weekend's done and then look at it, reevaluate it after that. But I can't see it. Just can't.
Declared. Do you want to see the game postponed?
Yeah, 100%. Because for us, this is way worse. Because we had an injury crisis. Now on top of that, we got a COVID crisis as well. And so we're in the worst position compared to a lot of other teams. So postponement will give us a chance to get our players back. And I think that would solve a lot of issues that we got. Like, you saw how hard it was to do the lineup, the first 11. So just to get our players back, just to get everyone back, I think that alone.
Yeah, Spawn, I concur. Xavi?
Yeah, I'm definitely canceling the game. First, we have too many people out. I think they're probably going to be even more positive. Like, if they do another round of testing, I think there's going to be more positive cases because every time we've done testing, there's just been, and these players have had contact with other players around the squad. So I think, and we're not playing well, and with those guys, and I could just see it being a frantic game. And if Reece James is positive, that right hand side is going to struggle. So, like, it'll be more of a disaster. And I think this gives, as I said at the beginning, this gives time for us to, like, I think these players are really mentally fatigued as well as physically fatigued because there's been a lot going on, especially with this COVID thing. You don't even know when you got COVID. The focus is off the game. I think Tuchel needs to reflect back, sit back, because if you look at the past game, it's not like we've been playing horrible, but we just can't, like, finish. You know what I mean? So I'm in favor of canceling it. I think it's a well-needed little break.
Yeah, no, I mean, my only worry is, and like Max Burton was saying earlier, is how do we schedule all these matches and try to end the season on time? And we don't want to have a backlog of games and whatnot. But I think for the what's the word here? For the benefit and for the entertainment and for the enjoyment value of the game, we can't be playing games with half of the squad injured. It's just not fun to watch. I mean, if we do play tomorrow, I will literally be watching that game with my hand on my heart because it will not be something I'll be looking forward to. I'll be hoping we get a result, but I would not be looking forward to watching the game. So for the enjoyment value of it, I think it diminishes if we play under these circumstances. Bobby, what's your thoughts on postponing the game or continuing?
Honestly, Mo, taking away, let's step back from our footballing situation and step back from our, all the money and everything. They've said in their rules that a game can be postponed for health and safety reasons. Yes. This is slightly more than COVID. If because of COVID you're going to be playing with injured players, that is a health and safety reason. And that becomes an abuse. If somebody's hurt and in order to fulfill a quota, you're telling them to go out and play despite being hurt, it's wrong. That game needs to be, in fact, the whole Premier League needs the down tools for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Get everybody treat it as much as is reasonably possible, and we go again. I tweeted something the other day. The Premier League has now been compromised by COVID, and compromised in that all this, we're looking at who to play. Oh, he can play through back pain. What? You know what I'm saying? What is this where we are? Is greed and the lust for money so much that you don't care about the welfare of another human being? So this is where we are now. This is immoral. It's unethical.
Yeah.
It has to stop. 2 weeks. Let teams get to January, and then they can reinforce to be able to go through the rest of whatever will be, what kind of fixture pile up or whatever. That's your opportunity to build up your squads. But playing this game like this, it's bad, really. It's bad.
I mean-
and if they let it go ahead, I'll be disgusted.
Yeah, Max. I mean, we're looking from the lens of Chelsea, but if we look at it from the lens of the Premier League, how many clubs right now have players in the same situation as us, in a similar situation as us, and these players, they could literally aggravate an injury, and it could be a career-ending injury because of the decision not to postpone these matches. I mean, Chalobah could, I don't want to jinx it, but could pick up a knock that could, derail his future, his career, and he's in the early stages of a very promising career. So this is something that needs to be looked at seriously, not just the COVID situation, by itself, standing alone. No, the ripple effects of the situation on the squads, on the players, on the fixtures, on the availability. It needs to be looked at, because I don't want to see players having career-ending injuries because of us just wanting to keep football going for a few matches or a few more weeks.
And sorry, can I just quickly interject? Well, what about the match goers as well? They're not even considering them. This virus is spreading pretty rapidly, and they're not even taking into consideration the.
They only let vaccinated people go.
They
well,
have
still, you already
numbers.
said vaccination doesn't really mean that you can't contract it and spread it.
You can contract it, but you're not sick.
Even still, it's still a health and safety risk. The fact that they're, not calling these matches off, allowing people to go to these matches, and then contracting it or whatever, and then spreading it, right? They still got to use public transit, all these things, right?
Yeah, definitely.
That's the whole point, because they know what it is, and it's not. They know what it is, and it's not that. That's why we're not gonna. If it was serious, they will lock down a city. But
Yeah, I
they know
agree with
what
that.
it is. They know it's not what variant is it, and they know what this.
I
don't want to go
don't-
back
I-
into what Kazim said. It's Kazim's channel, so.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about how serious, how dangerous it is as a virus. I'm talking about the effect it's having on the league, it's having on the squad.
Yeah,
The other aspect, the government will decide. They'll have their rules, the regulations. But I'm talking about the Football Association here. I'm talking about the Premier League here. They need to put the health and safety of the players, the squads, ahead of any money-making venture that the Premier League is doing right now. Because if we lose these players, then the whole season is jeopardized. The whole squad is jeopardized. Go on, Mac. Bobby. Sorry.
Hey guys, I have to go. Just
Absolutely,
come out.
Max. Mo.
Zavi,
sorry.
thank you for coming on. Appreciate you, mate. Take care, Zavi. Cheers, brother.
Take care, everybody.
Take care, Zavi.
Yeah,
Bye-bye.
see you later.
Cheers. Go on, Bobby.
Absolutely, Mo. This is what I was saying. We step back from everything. This is a bit more than the virus. Because looking at the Chelsea case, which is what we are looking at, I'm not too familiar with what's going on at other clubs, but it must be similar. Some of them may not be as bad, some may be worse. But the fact that we are considering in mass, in order to keep the show going, to put people's careers, their bodies, their welfare at risk is wrong. It shows that there is a health and safety issue here. And so out of just sheer humanity, the FA should say, look, we've got to pull a plug on this one. Give these guys a little time to reset, re-strengthen in order to go again and keep the show alive. Because the way we're going now, we won't even see the end of the season.
It's we can't keep going like this. We can't. It's not going to get better. That's the way I see it. So, like Bobby was saying, there has to be some kind of a break for the whole league. Just at least 2 weeks, maybe even a month, because we will not be. We can't cope. We can't cope with it. So, it's only going to go in one direction, and I'm concerned about the players' health and safety, and I'm also concerned about Tuchel. So, I don't think we can keep going like this. And there should be something about the integrity of the matches. If you can't play most of your best players, there should be something that says you can't compete. You can't compete effectively against. I mean, we can't even beat Everton's third string team because everybody's and what Bobby was saying about the players' health and safety, that's already an issue. There are too many matches. Somebody like Jorginho, he just keeps playing game after game. There's no rest, He didn't have a preseason. He just has to keep playing. And then this whole thing happens, and he's covering for people who are injured, people who can't come back now. So it's just a very big problem.
Facts.
Yeah, I want to hear Alex's point of view on this. Alex, to go ahead, to be cancelled.
Go ahead. Because what I know, what government knows about this variant, we're not gonna lock the city. It's not what it is, and that's the whole point about it. They ask players said before they want to continue with it. If you postpone for 2 weeks, for months, for that, you're not gonna finish the league. That's not gonna happen again. That's what they did it last time. They said if it was that threat, they will close the stadiums, but they will not close the league. That's a fact.
I agree. You're right.
And another thing is, how to say it politely, if we as a Chelsea fans, we have players, we have injuries not COVID related, and we try to put the COVID related to cover our injury list so our players could be better. That's how it sounds. If you, for example, Arsenal fan or whatever, because it's not COVID-related injuries. It's injuries what we have. So we deal with it like we're supposed to do. So now we're saying like, what's his name? Our midfielders, if he's on the list to play, he on the bench, that means he's available to play. That means that medical staff told that he can play. It's up to coach. He can play 90 minutes or not, but he can play. It's not up to feelings, as much as Bobby you like to say. It's all about the feelings. You're talking about the feelings at this moment the Chelsea players.
I have a question for you because I've been slightly avoiding going too much into COVID and government because there's a lot of controversy there. Now, you say the government understand and know what this virus is about. That's why they're not locking down. Mm-hmm. I beg to differ. They're not locking down because they're scared to lock down, number one.
No.
And number two, if they were so confident about this virus, why tell people to isolate for flipping 10 days? That's why we're playing injured people, because people that are positive are not available. That's why it's a health and safety issue. If it was something that was like a common cold, we wouldn't tell them to isolate, would we?
It is. Yes.
That's
no.
But it is.
No, and I can explain why. Because the only reason, the biggest problem for NHS and any hospital organization, it's not the virus, it's the volume of people wants to be treated at once. That's the problem. We cannot handle the pressure at this 1 minute. Everybody come in a hospital at once.
Okay. Let's go to that. So you're saying because of that, they tell people to isolate for 10 days.
Yes.
Right. Now, the impact of isolation means that we are having to play with wounded players.
What
So
what
why
kind of
not
wounds? Stop,
give
stop,
people
stop. What wounds? What wounded players?
injured players?
We're not playing injured players.
Sorry?
We're not playing injured players.
We're playing with players that are unfit. They're not really
No, we're
ready.
not playing with players that are not fit.
Hold on. I need to understand something here, Alex. Under normal circumstances, would Kovačić be returning on Sunday?
I don't know.
No, he
Under normal
wouldn't.
circumstances.
I don't know, and I don't think Kovačić will start.
He just came back from injury, so he's not fit, is he?
I know, guys, what you're saying, but that's not COVID related. Why you cannot put two things together? It's not up to the
No, it is.
Chelsea.
It is. Alex. The thing is this: it's not only the players that are infected. The ripple
And the
effect
impact.
goes onto the squad. The impact is
Yes.
on the squad. Okay, there is a ripple effect. Every case is not independent. I'll give you an example. I had one of the members of my family have the virus within my household. I had to isolate alongside them. Okay, that affected me. I didn't have the virus, but it affected me. So the people who have had it are part of a squad, and that squad is all being impacted on many a level. In regards to playing time, in regards to recovery, in regards to facilities, in regards to all kinds of aspects, in regards to the morale, in regards to we could be here all night explaining the different ripple effects it has. So that is one part of it. Now I understand, the point you're trying to make is
He's talking about the virus itself. But that's not the issue here.
Not only that, Bobby. He's also alluding to the fact that it's something that is dealt with differently now than it was in the past because we have more experience in dealing with it. We know how to handle it. We know the effects that it has. We also are trying to minimize the impact that it has on valuable assets within the country, i.e. the NHS, i.e. the hospital beds. I get all of that. I understand what Alex is saying. He is making sense. But when it comes to the squad, when it comes to Chelsea Football Club, when it comes to the players who are injured, they are all affected by those who have the virus. So
who's in a midfield had virus?
Can I make this point, please, guys? Yeah. We're talking. Alex made the point about the impact on the health service and so on and so forth, forgetting that the people in the health service are people. They are also impacted by this. They are also hamstrung to be able to deliver a service because they've got half their people isolating at home. This has an impact on every industry, every process.
Bobby, you don't need to tell me that I've been there, I worked through that, I know what it is, Bobby.
Well, exactly. Then you should be able to understand what we're saying about forcing players carrying injuries, recovering from injuries to play.
Because they had COVID. No.
Sorry?
They didn't have COVID. They had a hamstring.
Oh, for goodness sake! Anyway, I'm not even going to talk.
I'm gonna welcome Julius to the stream, and I'm gonna go back to MDT. So, Julius, welcome to the stream. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? How's everyone doing?
Everyone is doing fine. Everyone's doing well. Welcome. Julius, I'll come back to you. I just want to hear from MDT and get his thoughts on this whole situation, and then we'll get you to give us your thoughts. MDT, should the game firstly be postponed, and should we go into lockdown again when it comes to football? Well, what's your opinion, MDT?
Sorry, for me, as far as I'm concerned, the way situation are, I think with this pandemic, until everything settles down, I think we should have a winter break because it's unfair on the players. They cannot even do basic things. Even look at the preseason. Every team around Europe didn't have proper preseason because of the pandemic. Everything has changed. but people expect the players to still stay the same. The demand has increased. More games, more everything. Nothing have reduced on the players. People forgot this. But fans always go how much money they ask. I've never seen a fan ask their bank manager how much money the bank that they put money in or whatever, or their politician, how much they earn. But always we question, it's like there's no human involved. That's the thing about those footballers. It's like they're not human. They're like commodities. Supply and demand. That's their job. Entertain us. Shut up. Just do what we want you to do. These people are human beings, whether we like it or not. For me, I think with this pandemic going on, we should have a winter break. Whether the winter break is in November, they play December, it's fine because people want their Boxing Day, Christmas games, that's fine. But in England, they have to introduce a winter break period that injured players can recover. Because injury doesn't mean, okay, COVID related or whatever. Because let me put it this way. If you have a 25-man squad, that's what you allowed. Okay, you have 8 cases of COVID. What ends up happening is your squad is compromised. Even though you have fit players, that squad is compromised. And definitely that competition, let's say right now, Everton play their youth team against Chelsea. Imagine if Chelsea beat that Everton youth team. And then the following game, Everton have their full team. The other team that playing Everton had to go through play Everton's full team. That means the competition is compromised because that means there's it's diluted. That means it's not equal playing field. So if we're talking about equality and all over everything, for me, I believe that they should take a break. It doesn't matter whether, because why other countries do winter break? It's for clubs to recover physically, mentally, and if they have injured players to recover for the season to start again, fresh. That's what break is for. But in England, people think equality is different thing because it's the English way of doing things. I don't understand. But that's the way,
What does it have to do winter break with COVID?
No, I'm not talking about COVID. I'm just talking about it's even more important now because of the COVID going on. That's what I'm saying.
About the COVID,
it's more important now. Yeah. It's more important now because of the pandemic going on the past 2 years. The players need more break. And winter break should be introduced in England properly, like other places. Because you cannot expect the same demand on these players, especially during this period. That's for me, that's my take. I think they should introduce a winter break. Whatever the case is, they should introduce it for people to recover, whether that's mentally, physically, whatever the circumstances. Because this cannot carry on. You can't let people running around on a football pitch for 7-8 months. What's this going on? And I don't get it. I don't get it, to be honest. I think the competition is being diluted and being compromised in a way.
I agree
that's
with
my
you.
take on this.
MED, I agree with you. But you know what happens then? The packages that they're getting for the Premier League diminishes significantly because you don't get the exclusivity over the Christmas break, right? So all the money that you're getting from
I agree.
TV deals
This
is
is why
gone,
I said they should introduce their winter break before the Christmas. Like in other countries, they do it through Christmas. So for me, that's what they should do. They should introduce this winter break for the players to recover. Because this is crazy. We're not through normal time anymore.
This is why Premier League is better than other leagues because it's non-stop and everybody's watching it. If you lose that touch, you become La Liga.
Alex, spot on. The fact that we continue and we play through the weather, we play through the holiday, spot on. But right now, this is not normal circumstances. This is a pandemic. This is a problem worldwide, and we need to find a way to handle it with minimum risk. Financially, it's a big problem, and it's a problem everywhere, on many levels. It isn't just the football that's been affected financially. Every single one of us is affected by this financially, mentally. The mental impact, the ripple effects of this pandemic is massive. But we got to try to minimize it, and that's what we're trying to say. We got to minimize it in a way where we keep things moving, but with the least loss when it comes to people. And people,
Can I ask
health.
you a question?
I mean,
ask you a question.
You can go ahead.
For example, what if our squad is full fit and we had same amount of COVID test positive, 3 people, 4 people, would you say if we didn't have no hamstrings, nothing, would you say to go a game go ahead?
No.
I don't
If we still had the COVID results, is that what you're saying? Fit players but COVID results.
No, if we will have a full squad like normal, we didn't have no injuries, but we had like 3-4 cases of COVID, like we do now. COVID, yes,
Yeah.
COVID,
Yeah.
3 or 4
Yeah.
cases. Would you say to
Yeah.
game stop?
Yes, because this is the bigger problem. This is a bigger problem. We'll be in a better position. We'll be able to handle it better should the game go ahead. We won't have the injury crisis that we have right now in regards to who do we pick, who do we play, because we'll have more players that are fit. But in the flip side, in the long term, yes. And we said this on this channel, the last lockdown. I was with and for the suspension of football because of the impact. And to be fair, the perceived impact at that time was a lot scarier than it is today, because today
I
we are
agree
in a
with
better
you.
position.
With the other one was because you don't want to discuss it, because what we're going through, the continuous educations at work, they tell us what it is. So I know what they telling me to is. Back then, it's what they told us. It's what it is. That's why we went to lockdown. Well, this variant, they told us what it is, and what they told us we're not going to lockdown. That's all it is.
Sure. Again, this is something for people who are in better positions, who are more knowledgeable about, to discuss. Like I said, we are just regular football fans, and it's not our expertise. I'm going to go to Julius. Julius, under the current circumstances, everything that you know so far, do you think the game tomorrow should be postponed? Do you think we should take a break from football? What's your position in respect to this?
To be honest, Mo, I have been a little bit disconnected from football the past 2 days, but I did watch Thomas Tuchel press conference yesterday very briefly, and it seems to me that he's not trying to take any side. That's the sentiment I got from him. He was saying that you have a point if you want to make a case that games should be postponed, but on the other hand, you also have a point if you want to keep going and protecting as many games as possible. In my opinion, as a Chelsea fan, it benefits us and the circumstances we're in to postpone the games, because after having a lot of injuries, having a dip of form, it would be very, I think, beneficial for us to maybe take a step back, reset, wait for the players to recover. We have Jorginho been playing with injury. We have Lukaku still coming back from injury. So there is a lot of disturbance within the squad, and I am with actually ending the next couple matches until the new year, and then see how it goes with the pandemic and the situation with football. That's from my perspective as a Chelsea fan. I think it benefits us.
Yeah. No, listen, this is a topic that is tricky because everyone sees it from a different perspective. Everyone has different experience dealing with this.
Yeah.
We've got members on this panel who have lost family members to this disease. So it's everyone is going to look at it differently. I think we got to do what's best, for the people involved in this.
I lost my coworker, my partner at work, 21 years old, died to
there
COVID.
You go. Condolences, Alex. It's tough. It's tough. It's not something that we can talk about lightly or take for granted. So that's why we need to be extra careful in what we say and in what we promote. Me personally, I want to see our players' health and safety, the fans' health and safety, ahead of the entertainment part of the business. I do want to see us get back into football quickly. I'd rather not have a interruption in football if they are able to do it in a way where it's not going to be affecting the teams, the players. If they know a way and they can do it, let's go, let's do it. But I don't want to see us, going down a path that could see people lose, their livelihoods because of this.
Yeah.
Here's another way to look at it. If they will close for 2 weeks, those games gonna have to be, like people say, minimum 2 weeks. Those games are gonna have to be put it somewhere.
It's scheduled, yeah.
So Chelsea is in the is current in the 5 competitions. We have 2 weeks window that we fly into for the World Cup tournament, right? FA not obligated to look at that. FA can put those games and that week because they not remember what Liverpool did. They put the 2 squads in the separate things, like one for the one team and one for another tournament. They're not obligated. They can put those 2 weeks at that moment to fill up the games. You see what I'm saying? We can be a breakout now too, but then we can be with all the games. You can also have a long-term injury and, like Bobby said, career long injuries too. It's a 2 ways of.
I think the difference.
Sorry, Bobby. Just one question to Alex, and then I'll go to you. What's more important to you, the cup or the players?
What do you mean?
The health and safety of the players or the cup?
Like, are they gonna play for the injured?
To you, if it means we will not win the World Club Cup, but we don't have players, putting their careers at risk, what would you rather go for?
Did you football reasons or
due to continuing to play through this pandemic?
For this particular thing that we're facing right now, you call it pandemic, I don't call it. Yeah, I'll take a cup because I know what this is. This is not what we faced a year ago.
Okay.
I know.
So now
I know that's not what we faced a year ago.
Now I know your priorities, Alex. Now I know your priorities. Go on, Bobby.
No, I just know what we faced a year ago versus what we're facing now. That's all it is. It's not the same.
Cool. Go on, Bobby.
I think the difference here is quite clear. Because of the impact on football caused by the infectivity of the current wave of COVID, leading to large numbers of people having to be isolated and fewer people kept, running the shop floor, as it were, we need to have a break for health and safety reasons of those players that are going to have to hold the fort for game in, game out, and play through injury. It's inhumane. Now, if that means there's going to be a fixture pileup, within those 2 weeks going into the January transfer window particularly, teams now have the option, especially the top-tier teams like Chelsea, to look at this thing realistically and expand their squads.
You can't expand more than the amount you're allowed by EPL.
Well, the FA will have to look into that. Because if it's like when they introduced 5 subs, they introduced 5 subs for a reason. If you're going to have an impossible schedule,
but they did not increase the amount of players.
What do you mean you can't increase the amount of players? Of
they
course
did. You had 23 number squad. You left with 23 number squad. You just increased the 5 subs. You not increase. You can't buy. You're still gonna have to put on the 23 players.
Alex. With all due respect, your reasoning sometimes is you're very, one-dimensional. The whole fact that we've gone from 3 subs to 5 subs was done for a reason, to address a unique situation, which was the first pandemic wave. If in a unique situation, the English Premier League, for the first time ever, is having to break during the Christmas period, in order to make up for it, the decision should and has to be made for clubs to expand upon their squads. So all this that you had 23-man squad and you've got to play with it's nonsense. If you can increase it, all they have to say is, okay, from the restart, squad's depths, squad numbers can go from 25 to 28, for example. It's going to have to be something like that for teams to be able to cope with maybe 2 games a week, as we had to after the past pandemic. I think health first.
Yeah, can I just say?
No. I want to say something, and I'm not going to talk about the COVID anymore because this is ridiculous. I'm going to say one
just
thing.
a quick. I'm not talking about the COVID.
It's not. Let's think what I know about it, especially about this. There's nobody locking down nothing because government knows that Omicron cover. It's not. It's a flu symptoms thing. That's all. We're not gonna cut it. It's not gonna be same thing. It's same as the first wave. That's the different situation.
We're
It's
not
it. I'm done
talking
talking
about
about it
locking
because
down. We're just talking about postponing the Premier League.
it's it. Exactly. You
That's not
can't.
that's not lockdown.
Look. It's about the actual variant that goes around. That's why it's going up. But the consequences of this variant is different. The consequences of the Delta, the consequences of the COVID-19 original. There is a difference between it. If you do not know that, it's not I can't explain it to you. I'm not one-sided. Believe me, I'm not one-sided. I know how COVID can affect people. I know how COVID affected me. But it's a one thing to know what you know, and one thing saying what you think it is versus not. I'm done talking about COVID. This is two different. This is the thing that people actually don't realize. There is a difference in the strength of the COVID.
You're thinking this you're overthinking this.
I'm not
This
thinking.
isn't that
I know.
complicated. It's
I
simple.
don't think. I don't.
You
think.
are thinking, Alex.
I'm thinking. I know
You're
what it is.
overthinking it. Well, it's not about the depth of the disease and yada yada yada. It's about what is happening right now. And it's not about locking down the whole damn country. It's just about putting the Premier League into a period of pause, so players do not have to play.
I will ask you the question. If you're so sensitive about players, why the stadiums are still allowed to go? Why is the metros are still allowed to be?
You're complicating this.
No, I'm not complicated. Apparently, we're supposed to be sensitive for the couple of players, but not sensitive to the whole city.
All right. Listen. A couple of things, Alex.
Good point.
I think you're aware of the situation here in London, in the UK, and what we are implementing in regards to procedures and restrictions. There are many restrictions that are currently being implemented here. In the UK, it's very different to what it is in the US. You guys have state mandates, state whatever. In the UK, especially when it comes to England, we have one law, one regulation, one system for the entire country. Right now, to be at a venue, you have to have proof of vaccination. Okay, right now you have to be wearing a mask if you are in closed spaces. There is social distancing. There is restrictions on gatherings above 10,000, below 10,000. They have a whole bunch of regulations, a whole bunch of things implemented. Public transportation, you have to behave in one way. You have to do X, Y, and Z. There are regulations here. It is not. We are not in a lockdown, but we are not allowed to go. On our way without any restrictions. There are restrictions being put in place. There is also an evaluation that is going to be done on Monday morning in respect to the Premier League. The Premier League are having a meeting. They're going to be re-evaluating. There is going to be a lot of things put in place. Now, the fact that we are discussing what we believe should be happening, it is our right. Bobby has the right to say we should be going into lockdown. We should be going into a suspension period for 2 weeks. He has the right to suggest that. He has the right to make his case for it. I also have the right to agree with him and to back him. You have the right to disagree. We all have the right to have an opinion here. Let's not force our opinions on anyone.
No. I'm not trying to be forcing.
You know, but
sorry, Bobby, if you
whatever.
took offense. I really did not mention.
No, Bobby didn't take offense. I'll tell you that now. Bobby
really,
didn't take
really,
offense. But the thing
I didn't
is,
take offense for sure.
Sorry if I offended anybody, but that's not what I
Alex, it's fine. It's fine. You know, your opinion is valued. The thing that Bobby was trying to highlight to you, and I think. I don't know why, but you didn't understand it. He didn't say you are one-dimensional. He didn't say that. He said you are thinking in a one-dimensional way, which means you're only seeing one part of the situation rather than the entire picture. That's what he was saying in regards to this particular thing. So I just want to emphasize he is not calling you one-dimensional, but this, Alex, you have to understand that there is a ripple effect, and you also have to understand that we. Are not the same as in the US. In the US, you guys have a distrust of your government and what they say in respect to this particular thing. We don't have. Hold on. We don't have a distrust in respect to our government. We believe our government is behaving. Can I finish?
I didn't say nothing. It wasn't me.
Somebody just shouted in my ear. And,
Sorry,
it's my neighbor.
We have a distrust in the fact that they are giving us instructions and they are not following the same instructions they are giving us. But when it comes to how dangerous this thing is, how it's spreading, how it needs to be dealt with, we are doing what we can as a nation to overcome it. We are not petty fighting within our nation based on our political views. We are trying to overcome it as a nation. Yes, our government are not doing what they're doing in the way that we would like them to. Would like to see them doing it. They're asking us to abide by rules and regulations that they don't abide by. But we understand that we need to follow these rules and regulations for our safety.
I did not even compare to start to put United States versus regulations versus UK. It's night and day. Because
Alex, the reason why I said that is because you can't have blanket statements talking about the whole planet in the same breath. Every place is different. Every country is different. Every situation is different. In South Africa today, they view this variant in a different way than we view it here, than you guys view it over there. We all have different ways of dealing with this. Correct?
Actually, UK and the United States have really closed things on that subject. That's not why I was. How to say it? That's not why I was. Because you tried to put on a spot,
not Australia,
especially. You tried to put me on the spot, Kasim, by saying, what would you prefer, a cup or a player's well-being? That's not nice of you to put it in me in the first place in the situation. But I didn't take it.
No, you can ask me the same question. I can ask everybody the same question.
You see what I'm saying?
It's fine. I will always put human life ahead of any material position.
I agree, and I will do the same thing. But I will do the same thing. But for me, it feels like Julius says. Julius says exactly how I feel most of the people do at this minute. Like just saying, just doing close it, because sometimes it actually fits Chelsea as a player, as a club, as a team. But at the same time, nobody's saying nothing about why if 12 people, 25 people squad can affect one thing in the game, we need to shut down for 2 weeks. But stadiums are still playing, metros are still full, restaurants are still full, and stuff like that. So how come you can tell me that that a squad of 25 players that cannot be, it's so important of well-being, but you allowing people together in the mass transport and the stadiums and the concert? Bobby, that's what I've tried to put it up. That's what I tried to put across.
Can I please respond? Let me just really respond to this. First of all, I'm not offended. We're all brothers here. We don't always get on. We say things. It's all part of the debate. And crikey, you need to hear me and Boogeyman when we get going. It's war on stage. But it's still my brother, just like you. I'm not. We're bonded together under our Chelsea umbrella, and it's very precious to us. But in this particular case, what we are talking about, there are many inequalities as far as the managing of this situation is concerned. And we can't address all of them. We're just talking football. And it just so happens that the Chelsea injury situation is the topic of the day. But if you want to talk about the rest of the Premier League, there was supposed to be how many games today? I think about 6, 7 games. Only one went ahead. Only one went ahead. And we still don't know if the Chelsea game tomorrow will not be
because we have
postponed.
like 10 cases. I understand that. If you have 10 cases.
Please understand this. It's not about the cases per se. It's not about the cases per se, but it is also about the impact of those cases on the ability to provide a team. And that's the point I'm trying to make here.
Good point.
If you are, if because you have, for example, if you have, just hypothetically, you have a 15-man squad, right? And then let's say 4 of them are out with COVID, and you have 5 injuries. And in order to play a game tomorrow, you play the only 11 men you've got without substitutes. That's unethical.
That game would be cancelled.
It should be cancelled. And all I'm just saying is because this has compromised the integrity of the Premier League such that people aren't playing their squads. Look at what, for example, people say that Everton had to do, play a lot of their youth players. Look at Leeds. The game between Leeds and Arsenal today was just a mismatch. Leeds just went there like lambs to the slaughter because they did not have a team to field.
They did not have same team against Chelsea.
No, they had more players, to be honest. I mean, to be fair, they did. But they've lost more. So let's just cut to the chase and say, look, this season, the English Premier League needs to take a break, reevaluate, assess the health and safety of the players. There are human beings involved here. You know, these guys are people. They're not machines.
Yeah,
and
so does... I'm done with this conversation. It's nonsense. I understand what you're saying, Bobby, and I respect what you're saying, and I understand. And believe me, if we have more than enough cases that got positive, I agree we should suspend the game. There is no doubt about it. That's it. That's all I can say about this case. If we have a big number of COVID and stuff like that, it should be cancelled. That's all it is.
Honestly, Alex, knowing my country as I do,
yeah,
if the game goes ahead tomorrow, I'll be surprised.
Are you in the UK or are you in Down Under? Oh,
I'm in the UK.
Yeah, you're not
London.
the Down Under.
London.
Yeah.
Listen, Alex, we went into lockdown when we were having 40,000 cases a day. Today, we're hitting almost 100,000 cases a day. That's how bad it is.
I know, but that's a different number that you're looking at. It's not about the cases. No. That's how we went wrong in the first place. It's not about the cases. It's about the it's about how many cases, critical cases. It's about how many people are dying, how many beds are taken.
Yeah, right now, the again, I don't want to get into this.
Exactly, it's hard to explain it. My point,
listen,
because like literally, we have
Alex, listen, I'll give you this. Right now, the number of hospitalizations is less than it was then. Even though we have more than twice as many cases, it's less because people are vaccinated.
Death is even less.
We have herd immunity to a massive degree. We are where we are because of what we've done over the past a year or so. The medical establishment is better equipped to deal with it today than it was then. I get all of that, but what I'm saying is we do not need to take risk with people's lives. And the point that me and Bobby are trying to emphasize here is this: because of these positive tests and because of the regulations that are in place that you have to isolate for 10 days, Okay, these players are unavailable to partake in the training, in the squad. Therefore, you are having to play players that you don't want to be playing. We don't want to be playing Kante or Kovačić today, tomorrow, because they are not 100% fit, and they would not be. Sorry, Couch?
No, I'm going to jump in, but go ahead. Just finish your statement. I just wanted to touch on that because that's a good point.
I lost my train of thought. Because of the injuries, because of the COVID, we are going to have to rush these players back onto the team when they should not be rushed back onto the team. I know you said that how many midfielders do we have who currently have COVID? At this point in time, from what I understand, is 0, because Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek have injuries. Those guys are returning. That being said, Kovačić could have been taking part in training 10 days ago. He could have been fit to play if he didn't have COVID and he recovered 2 days ago. So COVID has had an impact. He might not be one of those players who tested positive a few days ago, but he did test positive 10 days ago. And that is an issue. So this is a ripple effect, Alex. Again,
I understand that part. That for 10 days he cannot do nothing. He has to be isolated from the other.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Whether or not that should be the case, because if you believe that this is something that is not as serious as it was in the past, then they need to make that decision.
Well,
they need to make that decision.
That decision
we can't make a decision.
Yeah, I know, but here's the thing: you're saying it's not. It's a long time ago. It's already it's been said it before. I don't understand why you're so afraid to say it. Because maybe you didn't look at it. That's maybe why. But we have every time we have it's called continuous education in the medical field. You get the letter with especially I work in ER, an emergency room, level 1 trauma center. That we cannot we cannot stop anybody from any kind of. If somebody comes in with no leg, no arm, whatever, gunshot wound, whatever. Same thing with I just need to renew the blood pressure medication. We cannot say no to nobody. So we, the ones that actually the first people that know what's going on, because that letter comes to us first. You still do precautions and stuff like a regular person, but it's called, I don't want to say it, it's my view only, it's not anybody panel's view, so it'll be not in your trouble. It is called common flu variant. That's how weak that virus is now. That's it. That's why I am appealing.
Again.
It's only my view and nobody else's.
Yeah, again. Whether that is the case or not, okay, we need to be advised of that as general public. And right now, that's not what the general public has been told. You are in the medical field. Maybe you have access to information. Maybe you are privileged to information because of what you do. You know how to deal with it. You know how to handle certain situations. The average Joe like me doesn't know how to handle this situation. It's not my area of expertise. Therefore, what I know, what I see is what I research and what I find available to the general public. Maybe if I went to medical school, I'd have a different insight to that. Again, that is not what we're talking about, but we keep going back to the medical side of things. Listen, people, we've been going on for nearly 3 hours, 2 hours and 40 minutes. It's been a good stream.
For Boogeyman, I was waiting for Boogeyman.
Boogie said he'd come on, but he I guess what he had to do was.
I want to make a bet. I want to make a bet with him. I want to make $100 bet with him. But I want to see where he's hiding.
Yeah, no gambling on the Blue Lounge. No gambling on the Blue Lounge. You're more than happy to make a donation for $100.
No, let's do that. Whoever wins, donate their $100 to the Kazim's channel.
Hey, yeah.
Where are you
that I can handle, because I'll win either way.
I'm okay with it.
No, for real. Listen, guys. Regardless of what happens tomorrow, if the game goes ahead or the game is postponed, I want to see the best thing happen for the players, the clubs, the game, and the sport. Whatever outcome, whatever decision is made, I'm going to be behind it. I'm going to be supporting it. Hopefully that as we expect, if the cases continue to grow, and if this situation continues to be a problem, I think action will probably be taken. Let's see what happens tomorrow. Let's see what happens in the test, pre-game testing. If the game does go ahead, we will be streaming straight after the game on the Blue Lounge to discuss the outcome of that game. If it doesn't go ahead, then we will be streaming later on that evening to discuss why the game didn't go ahead. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens tomorrow. But we will definitely be streaming again tomorrow. How many likes do we have? We have 63 likes. Come on, lads. We've been talking for 3 hours. 63 likes. How many new subscribers? 10 new subscribers. 10 new subscribers, 63 new likes. Big up to everyone. Thank you, Alex, MDT, Eric, Declared, Bobby, Zavi, Julius, Max. Who am I missing? Couch. Thank you to all who have taken part. Much love, respect. I'll see you all tomorrow. Stay safe. Peace.
See ya.